Yes! Bop, 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 bop. Come on, welcome to the Top 4 podcast. My name is Peter. I'm an Arsenal FC fan. I'm joined by Oscar Damak Chels.
Damak Chels has provided what it needed to provide. And now I'm here to collect, ladies and gentlemen. I am here to collect. There are certain people that have been talking all season on Damak Chelsea. And Damak Chelsea has arrived, yeah? Champions League football is back where it belongs, baby. What's good?
It does indeed. I'm joined by Robinho, a Manchester United fan.
Just like my body. This is finished.
Yo.
Yeah.
Just like my body is crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
David made sure he pulled the trigger before anyone else. He said, hey, yo.
This club is finished, but we'll get there. But
Just like my body is crazy. I'm joined by Liverpool man, AD in the building.
One kiss is all it takes. Possibilities. Listen, man, number 20, we done it, man. Over the moon, ecstatic. Over the moon, man.
Phenomenal scenes, Jeff. Joined by Ernie, a Manchester United fan.
I'm under the moon. Completely saddened. Decrepit. What a terrible season. God of heaven, help us, man.
I'm joined by generous Dave, an Arsenal fan.
Listen, yeah, big up the Arsenal ladies, bringing the trophy back to the Emirates. But Lola and Peter, you know where I'm going. Please, I need some diversity in the squad. Come on now.
You're not wrong.
I said this after the England's women. I have to repeat myself. I'm sorry, Asna.
You're not wrong.
I would ask for a Paris for the ladies, but yeah, that one. Fix that one, then we can talk, bruv. You know what I'm saying? But congratulations. Big up them man there. Big up the ladies. Sorry, my language, sorry.
No, I love that, mate. I love
but
that.
Yeah, big them up still. You don't know.
Hey, someone's fan is on.
Someone's fan?
Yeah.
Hey, that's who is that?
Is it? I can't hear it.
I can hear a laptop fan.
Hey, you think can't hack the tinkers?
Who knows, mate? We'll find out. And we've got a special guest, lovely guest, Lola in the building, Arsenal fan.
Hello. The women consistently are the ones who give me joy. I'm very happy at the moment. Very happy at the moment.
Yes, indeed. The Arsenal women doing top-notch things. Before we get into all of that, guys, I want to know what your highlight of the week was, or your surprise.
I mean, mine was pretty obvious. My highlight was the week was watching the women win another Champions League. Another team had to pay over the odds to attempt to get to the final, but it's fine. And also, Charlton got promoted, and I went to that game, and that was sick.
Go on the addicts.
Charlton got promoted, so obviously got to keep it south.
Go on the addicts.
So, Charlton are now in the Championship?
Yeah.
Sick.
I hold tight the Sunderland massive, though.
Bro.
Yes,
Bro.
man.
Sunderland took over London. Why were they everywhere?
Bro, they were everywhere. Like south, north,
let me,
were everywhere.
The game was on Saturday. I saw Sunderland kits on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Why are you guys wearing the kit every day?
Bro.
There were Sunderland shirts on line bikes in the back streets of
Yeah, for real.
Bro, Ernest, on Friday night, I was on Crickwood Broadway. I'm seeing Sunderland shirts. I said, what are you doing here?
Bizarre.
Bro.
My goodness.
They've come down for a holiday.
Nah, I've not seen a trip to Wembley from a Champions League team, from a playoff final. I've never seen that much presence. From the day before to the day after. That's crazy.
Yeah.
We got Bellingham in the Premier League now.
We do have a Bellingham. One last thing on Sunderland. I was watching the top 4 final day stuff in a pub in North London, yeah. And obviously the Chelsea game is on, the Aston Villa versus United game is on, and then all of a sudden there's just one massive cheer. And I'm thinking, why is there a cheer going on? I found out Everton are 1-0 up against Newcastle, and the pub is full of Sunderland fans, so they're all cheering that Newcastle are losing. I'm thinking, I'm surrounded by Sunderland. Jeez,
mate, and you know that's one of them derbies that I actually liked in the Premier. You know, it was a real throwback.
Hey, they were close to having like a great weekend. They get promoted, and Newcastle were this close to not getting into Champions League. It would have been amazing for them.
It was. It's a sensational derby, no doubt. The Northeast is brilliant. It's a brilliant derby. Anybody else with a highlight of the week or surprise?
I'm delighted. My club is back where it belongs. That's my highlight. Like, we had to be back in the Champions League, and we're there. I'm sure we're going to talk about it more later. Yeah. But goodness me, the depths of that stupid Europa song, that horrific song. I never want to hear Aston Bridge again.
How does it go?
That crap.
Wait there.
Is it the same for conference?
Hold
the same thing.
Yeah.
So the Europa League and the conference share the same anthem.
Yeah, the same song. And if you're,
they couldn't even be bothered to give its own song.
And if you're Aston Villa and you're playing PSG at home, they have that song as well, apparently.
That was the day that they went into the Europa League, mate. That was the day.
They can see the future.
Different Lev. Oh, that's so funny now, you know. Oh my god. That's actually
guys,
really
can I just say, I know Liverpool had their parade today. Hopefully there's no injuries. Some idiot decided to.
There's definitely injuries.
No, obviously deaths in it. Obviously, I hope no one's thing in it.
What happened?
Some idiot decided to run over fans in it with his car.
Yeah, it just happened about half an hour ago. Yeah,
it's another Monday in Liverpool.
Jesus
Christ.
Because I've not heard of anyone whipping in a parade in any other parade. I've not heard a man drive into the parade.
Guys,
there's like a million people out there.
The video that David has just put like in the group chat, I'm watching it now. Holy smokes, that's a terrorist attack. Surely, we are at critical now. The threat level is critical. Flipping hell.
The PM. I think the PM was nearby. I don't know why, but yeah, I think he was in Liverpool as well, and like he's just like monitoring the situation. Don't know why.
Yeah, the guy got arrested.
Yeah, he should have been.
What's the kid? I don't know. We got labeled.
He just said, "What's he doing there?"
No. Think about it.
No. Liverpool is a major Labour area, so why not just probably having some drinks?
What with the most right-wing Labour there's ever existed since Tony Blair? I mean, look, this is not a politics show, so I think we should slide away from this very quickly. But also, he's a gooner, so what's he not doing at the Arsenal parade? Move on.
He does have to look after the whole country, you know.
Oscar, he's at every Arsenal men's game, every game. He was at the games. He was at the games before he was PM and during PM.
I think he's showing you where he stands.
Yeah, I don't want him here. I saw he did a tweet. He did a tweet when we won it. I don't care. Go home. No one wants. Don't tweet about us.
Oh, sugar.
That's a go home. That's our Labour leader, Lola.
Go home, Roger.
Please, I don't exist. These
if anybody hasn't got any other highlight of the week, can I flex real quick?
The F1. Yeah,
go on, Pete.
Don't talk about the Formula 1. I haven't watched anything yet. Do not spoil it for me.
Are you even a fan?
Am I even a fan?
No.
It's been over 24 hours since the race.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why.
I'll tell you. No, don't waste your time.
Shut up, man. What are you talking about? Formula 1 is great. Okay.
No, I'm just saying yesterday's race. I watched it myself at work. I'm telling you right now.
Listen, the Monaco Grand Prix is qualifying where it's at. Let's have it right.
But always the time.
I will still be drinking it in.
Okay, you go and
I'll watch it tomorrow. I'm gonna watch it tomorrow. Once I've had some sleep, I'll watch it tomorrow. Right. My highlight of the week, very quickly. The weekend was sensation, guys. Sensation. I forgot to mention last week, or the week before, whenever it was, Arsenal had an open training session at the Emirates Stadium. And I had the privilege to actually host the training session. So, like, welcoming fans, all that kind of stuff, pitch side, blah, blah, blah. Welcoming players, this, that, and the other. So that was friggin' mental. Friday night, Arteta's son, Gabby, had his 16th birthday on Friday. And basically 2 things happened. Them man there had a football match, like a full 11v11, family and friends, like as fans. It was a full-on event. And they wanted like the match day to feel like a proper match day at the Emirates. So Arteta was like, get the announcer in here, get everyone in here this week, do this thing. Then after that, went upstairs to go and DJ the birthday party in the Diamond Club. So DJ that on Friday night. So Friday was a bit hectic still. Saturday was the women's screening at the Emirates, which also got a little hosting gig on that as well. And that was mental because obviously the women done their thing, like smashed it completely. And yeah, the screening was good. At Southampton away on Sunday, final away day of the season, in which it was, guys, you know what a jolly up is? You know what a knees up is?
Well, absolutely piss up.
The last game of a season where neither team has anything to play for. Guys, nobody watched the football. Nobody. We rinsed this fan called Johnny K because he just had a Johnny K on the back of his Southampton shirt. We rinsed him for 80 minutes. He went from being a see you next Tuesday, a paedophile, a sex offender, the grape word.
No, stop.
To give us a song, they were singing like second again, ole ole. We were like championship again, ole ole. It was like, oh guys, we did not watch the football.
That's
we
great.
did not watch the football. I swear to you, we did not watch the football. And if we did, we chanted like Tierney's name, Jorginho's name, people that we think like, you know, they're sort of done and gone. And that is all that happened in that football match because the football match was dire to the point where, shout out to Arsenal, they gave out to every away fan, they gave them free vouchers for drinks, right? So we rock up to the ground, boom, boom, boom. Man, I handing out, I see some of the staff, see them handing out. I say, yo, Carly, what's going on here? She goes, yeah, the Wade game, you know, boom, boom, boom. Here's a little gift. I said, how many you got? I said, realistically, how many you got? You know what I'm saying? 3,000 away. How many away? We're at 2,000 away. She had a stack. She had stacks. Flipped me a couple notes, yeah? I said, say no more, bro. Half time now, yeah. Man, then we're out there getting the bevies, and then Southampton just decided to open their exit gate and like have a little kind of tent marquee kind of spot without the roof because the sun was beating, and everyone was just there lashed up, smoking, drinking, the whole thing. When they returned to their seats, 80th minute, sweaty.
Nobody cared about this game.
I can't hear you're on mute still. What?
No, I'm saying, would people go back to their seats if they've opened up the whole thing?
Bro, that's the funny thing is you're not allowed. It's not usually you're not allowed a re-entry when you open up an exit gate. That's the end. Like once you've left the building. That's it. See you later, mate. But nah, man, these guys said, listen, do what you want. It's the last game of the season. We're going down. Do what you want. Do you know the one? We are going down. Do what you want. Them man there. And it was just so like away days are just such banter. And then the final, because the final away day, I don't know what it was. Like every Saints song, like they have the same chants as Spurs, for example, and we were just singing what we would sing about Spurs in them chants. Like it was when I took guys, it was a piss up in a brewery, bro. It was an absolute joke. It was not football, so that was fun. And then obviously this morning I was up. So imagine I got back from Southampton about 11 o'clock, maybe 12 o'clock, and then 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm up again. Boom, straight for the parade, bro. And then man,
3 a.m.
Bro, why were fans outside at 5 a.m.?
Fans were there early.
Fans were there at 5 a.m.
Early.
Bro, Arsenal women. Huh?
What time was the parade?
It kicked off at 10. The show kicked off at 10.
Oh my word.
Right? Man are out there. Listen, now check this here. Let me give you some statistics. When the Lionesses won the Euros, the women's England team, all right? When they did the full-on parade, like route and everything, they had 7,500 turn up to their parade. Us man clocked 10,000 outside the Armory store. Literally, the crowd went from the Armory store and it went out into like Holloway Road, like Hornsey Road, Holloway Road kind of ish. You know, like the sort of the roundabout. They packed out the roundabout. Boom, 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 boom. We had to cut the trees and everything. Like it was a madness. And I had the privilege of mixing, DJing up on the stage with the team. Do you know what I'm saying? It was like hopefully there'll be some bare footage and stuff. But bro, it was mental. The women are sick, man. It was mental. Absolute vibes.
They were drunk the entire time and it was hilarious.
Bro, they were so pissed. We saw them in the morning, yeah? They come in, the coach come in at about like 9:30, and they come through the back. They went onto like the podium. We just had to bring the coach on top. Like we just didn't even bother sitting in the car park. Brought it on top. Said, look, go through this way, go around the back. Steaming. As soon as I see you in glasses, steaming. I knew you were steaming. Then I see Katie McKay, bruv, had a bottle of wine. She had a bottle of wine out the coach.
Yeah, that's like
9:30 in the morning.
McCabe, I tell you, the level of drunk that Katie McCabe was insanity. And I follow a bunch of them on like Instagram and stuff. You just see the videos. She's like with a prosecco. Everyone else has got coffee. She's still got a prosecco. She's like the parade's she's getting forced off the stage by the captain. She's like on top of the barriers doing this, getting held back. She's like starting chants, the most random, drunk as hell, and it's hilarious. I don't mind it. I love her. She's great.
Drunk
chant, man.
Hilarious.
Beating Barcelona in a final, that is top tier.
It was a different level. It's a different level, man.
It's worth celebrating. Can I ask a question to the panel?
And then DJ the after party as well, because the staff and the players came to like one of the club level areas, and then we had a massive party until like 2-3 o'clock. And then I came home and slept because I'm battered, guys. I'm so battered. So yeah, that was a bumper weekend and a half, mate. And I got to hold the trophy as well.
Ooh, go for it. That's kind of sick. First of all, the Women's Champions League trophy is a nice looking trophy. Beautiful.
It's freaking heavy.
Other than the Men's Champions League, I think that might be one of the best looking trophies in football. Like,
you know what? I find the WSL trophy better. You know,
no, that's crap. That's crap. WSL trophy's crap. Let's have it right.
I don't know, man. I think it's all right.
I have a question, Adrian. Why are you in London?
I was gonna say, why are you here?
How do you know he's not in a travel lodge up in Lime Street, mate?
I see family photos behind his head.
Yeah, we can see the same family photo that's there.
Yeah. When you asked the question and I saw the family photo behind him, I said, "That's a travel lodge." Okay.
I'm just saying, innit?
It just weren't feasible, man. Just weren't feasible, unfortunately.
Bro, I forgot how many parades there were. Bro, Palace had one today.
The Palace one.
So many.
I'm seeing Palace had one. I'm seeing obviously Spurs had one in midweek. I was just on Friday, I think it was. But it's just
to be fair, I'm deep in it now. Why are you here? Why are you here,
bro? He's acting like he's gonna get this chance again.
Next year, man. No, don't worry, man. Like, vicariously, like I was on the socials, just liking up everything. Yeah,
listen, the words of the great prophet Jadakiss, it's good, but it's not enough.
It's not enough. Yeah, because one of my friends, she went. I was like, yeah. She literally, I think she went for the day. So she went to it. I think she's gonna come back in the evening, whatever it was. But it's like, yeah, she's like, I'm definitely going. She's just gone. She's like there, just enjoying herself.
Yeah. I think a large section of Liverpool fans travelled up from London because that's where they live, most of them.
What are you talking about?
That joke only runs on one team.
Yeah, it's only one team.
No, guys,
Oscar, you're better than that, man.
Guys,
that doesn't even make sense. You're gone.
The reason I'm using this joke in particular is because this year I actually went to Anfield for the first time. Let me tell you, every service station from London to Liverpool, Liverpool fans traveling with us.
Bro,
I saw more Liverpool fans than Chelsea fans.
Yeah. AD, you remember when we traveled to Liverpool for the Carabao Cup, bro? We were seeing hella Liverpool fans from the Midlands upwards.
Dudley
from Watford Gap, we were seeing them, mate. I was like, flipping hell. Yeah, no, Liverpool fans are everywhere, bro. That's the real talk.
Tasty burger, man.
Right. Burger, let's get into proceedings, guys. The final Premier League weekend happened, but before we got onto that, guys, Tottenham Hotspur, they actually beat Manchester United and are Europa League champions. What on earth? I can't believe we haven't even discussed this on the pod yet. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
It feels like it was ages ago because Tottenham went back to full Tottenham yesterday. That's the Tottenham I know. Do you know what I'm saying? Getting pumped, getting packed in. But yeah, Ernest, Robin, what the hell happened at San Mamés?
Well, I don't know. Robin was there before he was on the pod before the final, no?
He was.
Yeah, we told you what was going to happen. You were the one trying to gas it up because you hate Tottenham. We told you.
Is anybody else seeing Ernest's thing lagging? Was it just me?
Yeah, Ernest is like it's jumpy, isn't it? It's a bit jumpy.
Yeah,
it's a bit ambush. Let's try and reconnect. What do you mean?
Hey, I don't think you knew about them things there.
That's my ends, bro. What are you talking about? What's I'm talking about?
They're in a crazy place. I'm going, yeah.
Come on, bro.
Nah, he has Adrian has every right to question that. But we may as well start with Robin. Robin, your boys, Wednesday night. What happened?
Robin's been hiding.
Big tune.
Robin has been hiding.
Wait. Can we give full disclosure to the audience?
Yeah.
Because as far as I'm concerned, Robin did not comment once in the group chat since.
Yes, he's been hiding.
And you know what? That being said, this should be Robin's section because I've spoken.
Hear from Robin. Badly.
Yeah.
Hit the floor, bro, because we need to hear it.
Okay. So it is hard to describe how I am feeling when for the last 5 days I generally ask every time I woke up, we actually did not win this game. Spurs are the Europa League champions. My phone, bar Saturday/Sunday, everyone I've had messages saying like, what happened? What's going on? How can you allow this to happen? And I didn't respond because if I did respond, I don't know if I would say would not get me banned from various group chats.
Would it have got you banned from our one?
Yes, it would.
You know I'm admin though.
Oscar, that was cheeky.
No, because I'm thinking, what could you possibly say that would get you banned from our group chat? It has to be crazy.
If I speak.
No,
if I speak, they'll actually send me to jail.
Weapon of mass destruction. Crazy.
When I can describe to you, because we have United and we had Liverpool fans, no Spurs fans where I work. Like, do you know when the Liverpool fans didn't even want to banter us? They just said, "Wow." Like it is what happened on Wednesday night was nothing short of embarrassing. Like, I didn't even feel anger. Do you know when I can only describe it of two things, really. Someone broke up with you and your heart's broken, or your child or your mum or your brother, whatever, they seriously let you down. I generally felt like, no, you guys went into a final, all eyes on you, and you performed like that. The one game where we were all saying, right, they're throwing Premier League games away. Spurs as well. Throwing Premier League games away. All that mattered was Wednesday, all or nothing. Where one team clearly showed how they cared about this game, where the other personnel were walking. No urgency whatsoever. No changes in the personnel at the right time. The wrong personnel starting. The only goal in the game was an own goal. Even if the people that don't believe in the XG, I believe was 0.14, 0.22 on both sides.
In a final.
No, this was terrible beyond anything I believe. And I generally, when people ask me, what am I saying? What am I feeling? I generally couldn't utter a word. It was that bad. Manchester United Football Club are finished beyond belief. And whilst we've been saying it for the last 38 weeks on this podcast, Wednesday really highlighted everything that's happened in the season in a nutshell. From riding luck to injuries to systems to players to ownership. this season, good God, I can't even think of a word that's not PG. Wow. This season was terrible. I am so glad it's over. I am so glad that I do not have to watch football for another 3 months. I am so glad that the words Manchester United will only come on once a week unless we're on this podcast next season. I am because I'm heartbroken, guys. Like, I'm genuinely heartbroken. And yes, we've said this every week, but I've genuinely been let down. I have genuinely been let down. And I just didn't want to hear or think all that stuff. So I can go on and on and on about this, but I just don't want to talk about them. I generally don't.
Do you know what's impressive, Robin? Is the fact that, you know, like every week, you and Ernest, like when it came to like the league and stuff like that, every week it was like, what do you want me to say? There's nothing to say. There's nothing to say. There's nothing to say. This is like the same old United, you know, whatever, rewind and take back. But the fact that they even brought you further down with this Europa League defeat, the fact that there's a new low, because, you know, like
I don't think it is.
I think no, I'm a because, you know, like
I don't think
it is.
No, because what was worse, losing to Tottenham or finishing 15th?
I can't lie to you.
How?
No, it's like a weird kind of. It's one of those ones where I can't say one is clearly worse than the other.
We owe the Bank of the Premier League 10 goals.
But hear what I'm saying.
It's more.
But hear what I'm saying. You've been owing them every season for like a minute.
But owing them at 8th. No, a real talk. You can't tell me losing Tottenham was worse.
But hear what I'm saying. Do you know what I'm saying? It's. I don't know if it's worse or not. But what I'm saying is that game was not only an embarrassment for both. Let's keep it a buck. Both teams were crap. The only difference is that because Spurs won it, you can ignore it because they got the trophy at the end to be like, we were crap, but we're leaving with the trophy. They were both horrible. And that's kind of like making it worse with United. It was like, it was so bad. And then it was like amplified by the badness because your manager, me as an Arsenal fan was looking at it because like, I could say I care about Spurs winning or not. It didn't really bother me as much. But I'm sitting there thinking, you might have been playing so bad. Are you going to make any subs anytime soon? Kobe Mainoo, for example, is a guy who's clutch. But what I'm saying is so bad. It's like you've been bad in the league, and that's bad. But it's one of those.
One of the reasons he's been bad is because he's made subs late.
But there's late subs, and then I saw sub at 80th minute after you were like, I don't understand it.
As a United fan who watches United every week, nothing about that final shocked me.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's the point I'm making, Ernest. That's the point I was making about Robin. Is the fact that this was copy and paste, right? As the league had shown us.
I thought you meant no, because you said they managed to take us even lower, and I'm like, it's the same every week.
No, because Robin, for example, like yourself, like you and Robin, it's very much like, guys, what do you want me to say? Yeah, you got to that point. I think in November. What do you want me to say? The fact that Robin can't talk, the fact that Robin couldn't find words that are PG. The fact that we didn't hear from the guy. You know what's funny? I don't think any of us checked on him, which is horrific, by the way. We're terrible. We're terrible.
Actually, I did. I was like,
David said, nah,
Okay, bad friends except for David.
But this is the point I'm saying. Like, Robin's camera is off. Robin cannot speak about Manchester United, and in fact, he likened it to your family letting you down. Oh, come on. Like, even with the United, and then this still can occur. These feelings can come.
But do you know why? I think it's because United have been bad, but they've been not scamming, because in fairness to the games they've won in cups, they have the cups they actually did win. They were objectively, I think they deserve to win it. If that makes sense. Like, you know what I mean? So it's one of those where you think, because of what we've been used to United being so bad, and you're thinking it's a final. At worst, it's like they're crap anyway. But in the final, they generally tend to kind of turn it up. You're thinking they'll do the unusual United thing, rubbish, and then they'll win it. And that's what I mean when it gets lower. You didn't just lose it. You were just like unabashedly disgusting. Like, bad.
It was horrific.
I thought personally, I thought Man United could turn up. I genuinely thought Man United could turn up literally blindfolded, because I just expected Spurs to be them. Because you know what's funny? Do you know what the difference is? Spurs changed the way they played, and then
I said Andrew's a fraud.
It's true. He actually adapted.
That's the thing. Had we got regular Spurs, the one that got tucked in by Brighton on Sunday, the ones that's been getting piped by Ipswich, the ones that's been getting piped all season long
22 L's.
by fodder, yeah. I expected that Tottenham to rock up, and I thought, you know what? Even if Man United scored a goal where it hits someone on the back of their bum and they don't even know it, it still goes in the back of the net. That's the kind of victory I thought United would get. But the fact that Tottenham turned up and said, "Hey, have the ball," sorry, they had 21% possession. They had 20. I think you lot had 20 plus shots on goal. Correct me if I'm wrong. And Tottenham had 3 in a final.
They had 1 shot on target.
They had 1 shot on target, and that's not even the goal, is it?
No,
because it's the own goal doesn't count as a target or a shot. Even
the shot was at goal. The shot was at goal.
Yeah, it was at goal. It just kind of went off of.
Luke Shaw was just in the way.
So maybe that does include, but
maybe it is. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like, but you know, I think Adrian was trying to squeeze this a couple of weeks ago, if not last week, was trying to get like, no, United fans, get angry. We want to see some blood. We want to see what the hell, you know, give me some passion, give me some rawness. And we didn't get it because it was like, what are you talking about? What do you want me to say? What is that to say? This is different level. This is not even ranting. This is hurt.
The United fans have been like beaten in submission now. They've been royally beaten into submission.
Yeah. And the reason I would say, Ernest, in all honesty, the reason I'd say that what was, you know, when you said what was worse, finishing, 15th or whatever, or the Tottenham defeat for me, purely on the fact that they are the worst team in the league. Because even United are bad, because United are trash, but I don't know what we call Tottenham then. The sewage. I don't know what they call that.
No, but you know what it is?
In terms of this year only. If
Tottenham this year,
Tottenham, it would be a different story.
Tottenham this year have been the worst team in the Premier League.
Comfortably.
Yeah.
But the worst team in the Premier League has beaten Manchester United 4 times.
Good.
This is what makes it worse. You let you know what I mean? How do you let Spurs of all teams, even when they were like up there, like fighting for the challenge, who did they beat 4 times?
But my thing is the reason why from my perspective, I think it's because I expected to lose.
Genuinely.
I think it's Pete, I told you there's 2 teams in this final. I can't categorically. I told you the only way that I believe in us winning is if Jose is the coach.
So your prediction, hand on heart, was literally that Spurs was going to beat you.
No, I said it was 50-50. Like us against City. You did. Us against City, I'm like, yeah, we can beat them.
Anything can happen.
Yeah, we can beat City. Us against who else have we beat? I mean, the only other team in the last 5 years we've beaten is Newcastle. So, you know, there's teams I can look at and I'm saying, yeah, we can put it on the day. But this manager genuinely had no plan. The previous manager had no plan because the first time we lost Tottenham was Ten Hag. All the other 3 losses have been Amorim.
Wow.
I mean,
the Amorim came in November. We lost to Tottenham. I think when Slot beat us 3-0 was the first like, okay, is United here to play football or no? We played, I think, Southampton. Southampton battered us, and then we won like 3. I think the first 20 minutes they battered us. We won 3-1. I think at St. Mary's.
Remember that? Yeah.
The 4th game of the season was Tottenham at Old Trafford. Kulusevski, Van der Ven, and Maddison were packing us.
They slapped at Old Trafford.
Yeah, so I think the game after must have been West Ham, and that was Ten Hag's last game. Nistelrooy comes in, and then he goes after 4 games. Amorim comes in, and we play Tottenham, I believe, in December or something like. I think December was the League Cup or the Prem or both. I forgot.
Like it was Prem. It was Prem and League Cup back to back. Prem it was 1-0, and I think the League Cup was 4-3.
The Prem in North London, we were better than them.
Yeah.
The 1-0 that they beat us, we were better than them. And that was the game that made me think. I don't know if I put it in the group chat. I said this game is like the final. This final is like the game away. They played us on Wednesday exactly how they played. We were onto them, and United. That's what I was telling you guys. Amorim's style means that for the first 20 minutes we're onto you. Oscar can testify. Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, Manchester United will always be onto you. The minute the possession starts to switch to the other side, the minute Caicedo started to get on the ball, it was like, okay, I don't know if we can sustain this. So Amorim's style, that's what I was telling you guys the other week. His justification of this season hinges on him doing well next season, because this season has been atrocious. Do you know what I mean? So when it came to Tottenham, I said, this guy's not going to change. He's not going to change. Because I think in his head, if Højlund's chances fall to Cunha, it's 1-1. If they fall to Mbeumo, who apparently we're after, it's 2-1. In his head, the system works only because of better players. Now, Adrian's been screaming this for months, that, you know, as much as he thinks he's been atrocious, give him the players he wants. Now, my pushback to that is, that's not how life works. The people that have been backing Amorim this week, Rio has been saying it. There's a couple of fans that have been saying he did the same thing at Sporting. He threw almost every player out after the first season, and the next season he was doing a madness. Do you know what I mean? I'm just saying, listen, I don't care what you've done in Mars. When you come to Earth, show me what you're on. I don't care. I don't really care what you've done in another league. You know, when you look at the predictions, we'll see where everyone puts Slot, and Slot shut all of us up. You know, I don't care what you've done in Holland. When you come here, show me what's good. So when it came to the final, I was like, he's not going to change. He's not going to adapt. He's not going to adjust to the fact that he's played Tottenham twice, and there should be a level of troubleshooting. There should be a level of problem solving. He did not adjust, and so I wasn't confident. I was watching it with I was watching the final with Diallo. At the 60th minute, I said, D, we're not scoring. 70th minute, I said, D, we're not scoring. 80th minute, I said, D, we are not scoring in this game. They brought on Danso, proper Ghanaian. And the guy was just like, I think our attackers got bullied by the height that they had.
He did.
It made me kind of like, yes, they've been trashed, but it made me kind of respect Tottenham's back four, because a lot of them have been injured most of the season. Yeah, I think we could do with that back four. You know, just men. You know, so yeah, I wasn't as confident as you lot, and obviously you lot had agendas against Tottenham, so I don't know how much of it was confidence as opposed to just like you just want United.
But I think there's a genuine like, from me as somebody who really didn't have a dog in the fight. There's like, these two teams are terrible, but who could I believe could be this embarrassing? You know what I mean? And I believed it of Spurs.
It's always been them. It's always been them.
United would. Bro, it's Spurs. Like, this Spurs team is not good at all.
Yeah, my opinion
and they managed to beat us 4 times.
That's it. My opinion wasn't based on actual footballing things. It was purely because of who out of these two teams who's got a pedigree in finals, and it wasn't Spurs. That was literally what mine was on.
And also, as bad as Manchester United are, you did pull it out in a final last year. Like, literally 360 games ago, we all went into that final thinking City are gonna.
That team finished 8th. I'm not going to stop repeating it to you guys.
When did Tottenham finish?
No. United finished 8th. United finished 8th. That team is better. Kobe Mainoo has been sent to the outlands.
Bloody hell.
Can we talk about that?
One of the biggest criticisms I've heard from United fans against Amorim is, how does the player, arguably our young player of the season last year, one of the biggest bright sparks of Manchester United and definitely the Premier League last year, get into the England squad, and
you don't
have,
he started in some of the England
and he doesn't have a way to fit him in, and that's why I was like, I don't know.
And this one was like, I always try to, as you can see when it comes to like Angela, man, I try to give new managers for the most part time. Length, like just a bit of leniency to kind of like see what's up, which is why I didn't automatically dismiss Ange. I didn't automatically dismiss Ten Hag. I didn't automatically dismiss Amorim. But I'm just looking at thinking, I don't see, especially in like cup game finals, is why I look at managers, whether or not you win it or lose it. But I try to look at what you did in that game to see what I can say. Cool, let's see what happens later. I don't see how in a final, like, let's rubbish everything, how in a final you wait that long to even attempt to change anything up. Like, even just anything, subs, any tactics. I don't see what he was seeing that was thinking, this is fine. I'm just going to leave it and then just hope that, because it felt like he was just like hoping for Spurs to like be Spurs. But I'm like, from the start of the game, Spurs were very clearly showing that we're not going to do what we normally do in the Prem. We're going to sit here because we know United can't really do much against.
Look at when they got the goal as well. The perfect time to score is before and after half time.
Yeah, I literally said it to my friends.
Window is the perfect time to score.
I literally said to my friends, I said, if Spurs score first, this game is finished. Because based on what I was looking at, they were looking like, United can't play football. So if we just sit here and just defend for our life, because Spurs, for the most part, as their profiles they have defensively, they've got good profiles, and then just in general in most football games, any team, if you can just sit there, even the worst teams, Southampton, for example, if you just sit, for the most part, against a team who requires the ball and all this stuff, you can keep them out. And especially for a team like United, who aren't particularly good this season, even better. Spurs didn't have to do anything. They scored their goal at the time they needed to score it, and they said, we're just going to defend. And it worked. I think you got one sniff at a chance, and Van der Ven, with his pace, did what he's supposed to do. You just need one extra action to ensure it, and that's what happened. Because I always say as well, because this game was hilarious because you had two keepers who were trying to kill both teams. Because this is where my agenda comes out. Because I have been on Vicario's case since he entered this Prem.
Yes, you have.
People have been gassing him up, saying how he's so great because he's a shot stopper. A lot of these keepers in the Prem can. I've seen Ramsdale have multiple games where he's saving left, right, and centre. But I look at them. Vicario is a wimp when it comes to set pieces. If you breathe on him, he'll fall. He's literally him. This is actually a fun comparison. Him and Donnarumma are the same, you know. The difference is Donnarumma is a tree, so he can get away with a lot more than what Vicario can get away with. Vicario is smaller, and the thing is, it makes me laugh because Vicario, I think, is like 6'3". He looks about 5'4". Like, look at him in a goal. He looks small. He's not good, but then he did what Onana couldn't do. He found a way to at least give Spurs 2 saves in that game to save them, and Onana's a dickhead. So,
Certainly.
Yeah, goalkeepers look crazy in the goal because the goals are so tall. So the goalkeepers look small. Like, for example, I remember David Ospina, same height as me, bro. So it goes to show that if I was in goal, I would look like a short goalkeeper. Like, he's a short bro, but 6 foot. Man, anything? Can I ask Robin and Ernest? Like, is the pain more because of the victory on Sunday, for example? Because nobody saw that coming.
I could not care less about Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday was a non-entity.
I could not care less.
So okay,
you're gonna ask me what's the difference on Sunday. Listen,
no. I'm just saying, like, I'm gobsmacked that Manchester United beat Villa 2-0 on a day.
Beat Villa 2-0 because Villa are idiots and they can blame the goalkeeper. That's why.
Another keeper I've been on, and I'm very happy he got a red card.
People have been giving me Emi Martinez prop, like, would you take Man United? I said, only on the last day of the transfer window if we've got no goalkeeper.
Because he's another keeper who gets away with a lot.
Yeah, he's been running that Argentina prop for years now, man.
It's purely Argentina, because I say this all the time. If you look at whenever Villa play Arsenal, look at the majority of the goals we get. It's on him. It's directly on him.
Can we stay on Villa?
We can stay on Villa, but basically for me, if you're asking me, will I take Emi Martinez in a heartbeat? Because both our goalkeepers are... I can't even say. Are they goalkeepers? Are they footballers? What are they? Because they're neither. One can't. Doesn't have hands.
Hey, Robin,
and
I heard they said Onana said he's disappointed that he couldn't play Champions League football.
Oh yeah,
a man said you're the reason we're not in it.
Ernest, he cost not 1 but 2 European campaigns. 2. I will never forget, and I'll keep saying this, in our Champions League campaign, was it 2 seasons ago, we scored a maximum of, I'd say, at least 15 goals. We scored 3 at the Allianz Arena. How many people score 3 at the Allianz Arena and leave with 0 points? Tell me. Tell me.
Peter, I might have to jump on this African goalkeeper thing still.
It's an Aryan thing. It's an Aryan thing.
But Schmeichel only. Schmeichel profile.
It's an Aryan thing.
I saw the comments that he said that he's disappointed that he did not make Champions League. Excuse me? I'll get him out the car. Before we go, how about see some goals?
How about you're one of two men on the pitch that could use their hands? How about use them? How about that? How about that?
Ernest, I think you should. Can you ask Altai that same thing as well?
I
Because
told you guys when we went to the Emirates and beat you, I said, don't look at this penalty shootout like this guy. I warned all of you.
He told us.
It's crap.
To be fair, he was shaky warrior at Tottenham Hotspur, at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I think
Yeah. But remember, because Fraser Forster was bad, so he kind of slid under a little bit.
Yeah, trust me.
Fraser Forster was awful, and Tottenham won the game. Fraser Forster was awful, and yet, I think that was it 4-3. I can't remember the score. What was the score?
Something like that.
It was 4-3. It was 4-3.
He needs to pack it in, you know. He needs to pack it in, mate.
Bayinder's 27.
He needs to pack it in. He needs to pack it in, regardless of his age. He's bad as well.
He plays like they just found him in Carrington.
No, but what? Explain.
Never Carrington. Off the street.
The street.
He never like a pro keeper, bro.
Guys, I want analysis.
He looks like a
I want analysis of his attempt with Morgan Rogers. I want analysis.
There's no attempt.
There's no analysis to be done.
There's no analysis. He's a grown man. Like same way I cuss Onana for his stupid high top at this age. I'm gonna cuss Bayender for his nonsense patchy beard as well. You're a grown man. Go Turkey and shave it off.
The guy went on his knees, yeah. The ball rolled between his hands, and it was like playing. It was playing pat ball with the ball.
No, I don't understand goalkeepers that could. You can use your hands
in the box,
save the ball.
So, guys,
I couldn't believe it.
In this moment, would you guys say that Villa were robbed?
I didn't watch. In fact,
that was a goal.
I didn't watch the game. I didn't watch football at all.
It was definitely a robbery.
As in that moment, should Villa have had the goal?
Of course.
Absolutely. No.
That referee cannot be in the Premier League next season.
Yeah, I saw the clip of that. That was insane.
I'm not gonna lie, yeah.
I can't really blame
you. Referee companies are getting tired now, man. You know they're going to be here next year.
No, but here's the thing.
He's not allowed.
Listen,
no, David. According to who's not going to allow him in?
He's
Who's not going to allow him in?
Obviously, I'm not in a position of power to do anything about it.
You could have fooled me,
guys.
He's not going anywhere.
Get VAR out of here, because you cannot tell me. Listen, once again, I have another strike on VAR.
He blew the whistle, bro.
Man are telling me
VAR couldn't even get involved.
Yeah, but listen, man.
Is that why?
Yeah, he blew the whistle.
He blew the whistle too early, so VAR can't get involved. That's the rules.
I was gonna ask, did he score? And then VAR said no.
I'm gonna keep it a buck with you guys. I did not hear the whistle.
Yeah, the referee blew the whistle before.
It rolls to Bayern. He's got two hands around the ball. Morgan Rogers kicks it.
No way.
He has the opportunity to put it in the net. I guess the referee's blown the whistle. Morgan Rogers scores, and he's like, "That's a goal." The guy never had it in his hands. And then when you see the replay, he never had it in his hands at any point. So I was watching it thinking, when is VAR going to intervene? But apparently,
VAR can only intervene when the ball's in the net.
Yeah, I remember that because it happened to us. It happened to us versus Liverpool when Havertz scored that goal that should have been a goal, and then said, "No, it was a foul." But after he already shot it, which made us. Rest is stupid, man.
Guys, VAR is bollocks, guys. Just call it what it is. This idea that you can't get involved because the referee blew his whistle, that's not the point. The point is the decision is wrong. So if the decision is wrong,
why is Oscar taking his camera off?
Because he's shooting from the hip. Exactly. He's down the gallon of whiskey.
Every argument I've made about VAR is me tackling these stupid rules that you lot keep talking about. I don't give a damn what the rule book says. If we see clear in HD 4K 8K, we've got it in multiple guys. We've got 100 cameras at a stadium.
Even when the rules are right,
everybody understood right there and then what the correct decision should be. Everybody knew except the VAR.
Oh no, guys! This is
No, guys, let's stop making excuses for VAR. I'm sick of it on this podcast. Making excuses for VAR.
It's not an excuse.
Robin, stop.
It's
Stop
not an
making
excuse.
Yes, you are.
You know what? Hey, Rob, you know what's right? He knows all our rebuttals.
You man are telling me no, because you know what it is. Because Ernest, do you know what BS I hear every week on this podcast? What the rules are? Stop the rules. This is the point I'm trying to make. I don't give a damn what the rules are.
real bad, man.
Stupid incompetence taking place at hand. Yeah. This is why I said let the referees make mistakes without having cameras. I don't care. We can't have CCTV footage and man are still not getting nicked. Man are still getting away with the charges. Man are still because of technicalities, because of this, that, and the other. Because
so I guess it begs the question: what's worse? We have cameras, and every single time a team is about to catch life, or should I say, the rule should be executed perfectly. A technicality saves them from being embarrassed
every time.
Or we have rogue refs,
bro,
running rampant in this prem.
The cameras is worse because at least back in the day, even though our referees were bent as a £5 note, at the end of the day, we knew they always had the excuse of human error. You always had the excuse of interpretation. You always had that leeway. You know what? We've all made mistakes in our lives. Every week we make mistakes. We do something stupid. We do something that we shouldn't be doing. Every week we do it. However, I have surveillance footage. And we're still pressing like this to the extent now Villa have guys. This has cost Villa the Champions League.
Bro, do you know what it is? Do you know what it is?
Villa could have got a draw, right? And a draw would have been enough for them to go through to the Champions League.
The ramifications of that mistake is so costly.
They've now put out a statement, Villa, accusing of having an inexperienced referee to referee such a big intense game.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is though? Do you know why I'm like, I hear you personally? I prefer VAR, but that's different. Someone put this tweet I saw today. And I was like, you know what? I can be chill with it. One was like, when Villa first came up, remember the whole thing was that they stayed up for technicality.
Sure.
I think this was before VAR, or was it the camera wasn't working? The point is, they shouldn't have stayed up, and they caught life.
I swear it was VAR.
Was it?
No,
it was not VAR. It was Hawkeye technology. The goal line technology.
What's going to go off?
Again,
but the point is,
Peter said again.
I hear you. My point was where I'm like, whatever. It's like you benefited from it once. The verification have now come back to have come back.
No. I'm sorry.
No, Lola. You see the problem with that, yeah, is what I've said many times, that the Premier League, to me, thrives off of the entertainment of controversy.
100%.
This is why.
100%.
This is why, as much as we can look at, like, Villa didn't say this, like, check that goal again. Villa didn't tell the powers that be or run the take back. Villa, like, I accept the corruption that benefits me. Every Premier League team does, yeah. But you answering corruption for corruption is also not the answer. And the Premier League, I believe, and this is why they will never change it. They will never change it, and they'll never change it because one of if not the best league in the world has moments like, oh my God, if Villa had that goal allowed, what would, like, Newcastle wouldn't be here. And that conversation runs pub chatter, it runs through the House of Commons, back to the ends in South Kilburn, it runs everywhere. And now the conversation means more clicks for Premier League. How many of us have retweeted or tweeted something about VAR just from yesterday? How many of us in sitting here today, all them clicks bring more prominence, more visibility to the Premier League. And Premier League, for them, it's like any publicity is good publicity. Cuss us out, praise us, it benefits us. It doesn't make sense for them. Like, Pio wants VAR out. That doesn't make sense for the coins coming in. That doesn't make sense.
Bad for business.
We should have smelt the coffee. We should have smelt the coffee on day one. Do you know why? Because do you remember? And I think we did. I think we flagged things when VAR was brought in because it only decided to question 4 things in football, in a football match. Football's too ambiguous for just four things to touch on. I can only touch on red cards. I can only touch on offsides. I can't even touch on yellow cards.
Yeah,
I can't even, you're talking about Hawkeye. Excuse me, if you're on a bus, yeah, you're minding your own business, but you see a woman getting attacked by somebody, you jump in. It's not your job, but you jump in. You help. So my point is, VAR needs to get involved in things, even if it's not meant to be involved. It has to. We can't.
The argument the Premier League will make, no, because Peter, this same point you're making, Sky Sports pundits were saying, nah, you're sanitizing the game too much. It's becoming too controlled.
That's what
you're saying.
Because all of them are losers.
So I'm going to repeat the point that I said last week, really, on the whole VR situation. And PR is 100% right. My issue, and my always issue will be, is that we have the surveillance, we have that, and we can clearly see that they're getting away with murder. The issue that the Prem, and like what Ernie said, they're not acting on it. If I can see that you've done wrong and there's evidence you've done wrong and you are not being punished, that's the issue here. Is why I've always been fire all refs, because we can see that we can see that they are failing and they are not equipped to do the job, but yet we are not punishing those. We're just saying, you know what? Carry on next week. So I will never blame the technology, because if we can see it and we can see failure, why are we not correcting?
Yeah, and this is why I
always been my issue.
And this is why I always done on this, because I could sit here and agree with Peter and say remove VAR. For me, I've been hating on like refs and officials for long enough to know remove VAR, and they won't go back to what they were beforehand. They'll be worse, because they've already shown it now when there's vigilance on them that they're moving like freaking the mafia. Do it now. Remove VAR, and they're going to be worse because they're going to have even more impunity and power they have now. Me personally, I agree with you. VAR has all this stuff. It's got the issues. There's certain things they got us on, but then also you have to still look on who put these rules in place. VAR, like the system of what it's supposed to be, makes sense if you allow it to make sense. These men, like you said, they made it only 4 certain things you can talk about, certain things you can do. That's not VAR. That's them man who are deliberately doing things like the goal like that didn't happen for Villa yesterday. Why can't they intervene on that? Because the ref blew early. That's a rule that they made up.
Scandal.
And guess what? It's only a rule in the Premier League, by the way.
Yeah,
if you look at Serie, you look at La Liga, they have different VAR rules. Even if you look at the Champions League or UEFA games, we all know that handball, left, right, centre, doesn't matter if your hand's up or not, UEFA will give that as a penalty. But they're consistent with it and they keep it real.
That's true.
The different rules.
True.
So the different leagues have different rules when they come and apply to VAR. The Premier League has made their own rules with the 4 things, which is why it's crazy when you look at others and even look at international competitions. We're the worst to employ it, because even with the semi-automatic, sorry, Pete, I just want to finish and then I'll let you go. Yeah, even the semi-automatic offside, look how long that took to take to implement.
They said
every other league.
They said September. They said January. We got it in friggin' May.
We got it in May, and we see it perfect. We see it perfectly used in Europe. With every 10 seconds, done. It's in automatic. We know. We move on. In the Premier League, it still takes ages because, like I said, we apply things to benefit us or benefits the Premier League. So we need to actually just have a blanket rule. The Premier League, like we said, is a circus, and the circus runs the rules, regardless of whether we like it or not. We just have to sit in there and take it until said otherwise. Okay, I'm done now.
Yeah, even the way they banter like women's football. Champions League, we use the VAR and go on technology. We do it quicker. It was done literally in the Champions League game when we thought we scored early, the own goal. The way it was offside, they did it quickly. There was no kind of look, it was done.
Yeah, look, I'm leaning more to what Ernest's theory is on this, that the fact that this is purely an entertainment game. This is Netflix and chill.
It's WWE.
It's wrestling.
Yeah. And that's for business.
Here's the thing as well on the United thing, and this goes back to the Liverpool Tottenham scandal, right? Where you know who's not to blame in this scenario, in both of these scenarios? It's not the referee, because even the referee, even though he blew his whistle early, right, he can be forgiven because there's cameras to say, look, play on, or that's the wrong decision, let's crack on with it. The fact that we can't get involved. The Liverpool one at Tottenham was a scandalous decision on the basis that we've given it, so we can't give it back. Sorry? They've kicked off. So because they've kicked off, we just can't stop the game. No, stop the game. There has to be manager's discretion of some extent where, rules are rules, but then there can also be where, like, okay, there are some circumstances that you may be unforeseen.
Like Sunday is a mitigating circumstance.
Exactly that.
The guy scored a goal.
A perfectly legit goal.
He scored a goal.
And the thing is, it's what, the referee's damned if they do. The referee's damned if they do, damned if they don't. Do you remember we were rinsing Sean Massey for not flagging earlier because Taiwo's now he's had to be chopped in half because he ran into that post, right? Because she didn't flag early. She flagged after he got hit into the post. This guy here flags, blows his whistle too early, and we're still saying, oh, he should have let it play. The funny thing with the referee on this Man United game, I'd only say, is what else was going to happen after the attempt with the goal. With the goalkeeper, nothing else was new. There was nothing else going on other than the fact that ball was rolling in the back of the net. You could have waited until it got into the back of the net and let VAR give or cancel.
Exactly.
So anyway, I'm sick to death of it. VAR should just go, bruv. It's just go, because do you know why? It's just purely not. It's not unless they change the rules for how VAR is used. Get it out of here. I'd rather leave it as let me just assume it's human error. I've got more peace knowing it's human error or believing it's human error, even if it's not, than seeing what I am seeing today.
Man said you are assisted in your job,
bro, and we're still wrong.
Not in like 1950s cameras.
Ernest, back in the day, do you know the only people that knew in real time whether a decision was poorly or good was those who watched it on TV?
On TV, yeah, right.
That was it. Now the people who are the referee knows it's a wrong decision. By the way, let's have this right. The referee himself knows it's a bad decision. The VAR knows it's a bad decision. All the players know it, and we're playing on.
Which is why I've been an advocate for referees doing post-match interviews. I'm for it, man.
It's wild.
I want that one there.
I want post-match interviews.
I want to hear them.
Explain your decision, and let's compare it to the decision you made in September.
And not that stupid show they've got on Sky. I want an actual post-match.
I'm so sorry. If you want to learn about football, Sky Sports is not the channel.
It's not the place.
It never has been.
It's not the place.
It fell off big time, a long time.
The same way I blocked off what's the Italian guy who talks about transfers again?
Fabrizio.
I blocked him time ago because he's annoying. I blocked bare of these ITKs as well. I've muted so many Sky Sports things apart from WS. They're all annoying. I don't want to see them. I don't want to hear you. You all talk waffle. I ain't got time for it. It's annoying.
And do you know what we didn't miss on Sunday? Gary Neville, bro. Get stepping, bro. Get him out of here.
If I never hear his voice again, I'd be happy.
Football went on. It was amazing.
Too much, guys.
No, I don't like him.
I don't get him out, bro.
Hold
that. Is Gary Neville that bad, though?
Yes, he is.
Bad?
Yes, he is. Because you know what it is? It's not even that he's stupid. He's so sanctimonious about the fact that he's wrong. Consistently.
Well, fair
he
enough.
thinks he knows better, and with his chest, he thinks he's like the smartest man. You said nothing, bar from either lies or you said the most basic things, and then you said it in such a way as if you just found out you're the first person to ever discuss. He's annoying.
I think the best way to put it here, and it's an oxymoron. Gary Neville is a pundit who talks too much.
There you go. To tell him again, mate.
I hear your voice whining about things.
It's very emotional.
Too much.
Yeah,
it's too much.
Can I just disagree here? Just for one moment. I'm not talking like I don't disagree in sense of what you were saying, Lola, about how wrong he is, because I think he's often very wrong. However, when you compare the American sports that we watch and the punditry that goes on over there in comparison to the punditry of the English game, the standard is very low in terms of entertainment. There's not that many people that give you something that you actually care enough to respond to. And I think Gary Neville is always putting himself there. He's always got a take. And I think, yes, he is, whilst he is wrong, I think he's the best pundit we have.
Okay.
Like,
you know how about that?
The most, like just for him to have that podcast on Sky Sports where it's essentially just him and then Peter Drury bouncing off him.
Oh, in the gantry.
No one else.
I like that.
No one else other than maybe Carragher. No one else is actually.
Yeah, but do you know what? Do you know what, Oscar? Do you know what I hate? I think I agree. The podcast itself. If he just did that, I don't really listen to much. But when I see,
if all I had to hear was that
fine. But you know what it is? Your point about how the politics.
I think it's exposed.
I feel like if you're going to be that present and that everywhere and that just talking. Your personality needs to hit. His personality is crap. And
No,
his
I like
energy.
his personality.
No, for me personally, because you likened it to the Americans, right? If you're going to be seen everywhere, I'm not saying bounce off the wall like Michael. You ain't got it like that. You ain't got it like Star Diver. But for me, his personality is not levels like that for me to take the stupidity that comes out. It's not too much. If you're gonna lean into that, lean into it properly. I need something from you other than you being forever wrong and forever thinking that you know everything. And the way you talk about people, you were a manager as well. You were crap. But anyone comes to you, you cry. So the energy he puts into it is not. He was crap. Don't worry me. He was crap.
No, because his record at Valencia is better than Amorim's at Man United.
I don't like. That's not the point. He talks about everyone.
No, us have to get that one in.
The point is, he was crap. It's the same level at which I would give energy for him that I'll give for Lampard or Gerrard if they want to dare come and do the same thing. Your energy, your personality ain't there for it. Your ability ain't there for it. Your speech ain't there for it. You're not even cute. You're just being annoying. Go away.
No, in fairness, you give it a go, though.
When it comes to Gary Neville, when we start talking about Chelsea, I'm going to cook Gary Neville in a second. But I personally think he's entertaining. Like I like watching him. I like him. When he said he's not going to be on punditry for the Nottingham Forest game because he's banned from the stadium, I was actually annoyed because I was like, I wanted to hear him cook Chelsea in a certain way. If
I think
we
he's
lost,
a crap commentator as well. I think he's a crap commentator as well. I'm perfectly fine if we never see him again. But
Wait, no, what's he good at?
But nothing. He's there to be annoying. Do you know what I take it back. I don't mind him in the gantry, and when he's with people, like I don't particularly love that podcast with him, Carragher, Wrighty, and the other ones. But it's fine. I prefer him in that kind of setting.
Oh, interesting.
I don't like it either. I don't like it either. But I prefer it out of what he does for like main scandal and that stuff. I also just don't like him.
No, there is a difference, but I think it goes back to the constant comparisons of UK and American television that we said earlier. We look at the CBS. We look at CBS. Everybody loves CBS because the Carragher and the Micah Richards that we get on there is completely different to what we get on like on a Super Sunday or an overlap or something because it's just a different audience. So and the way that the British do sports is completely different. Would we go down the American route? I think we should. Not too much.
Not too much.
But
they're annoying as well.
But there is opportunity. So yeah.
Like, why does there have to be?
We don't have the source. We don't have the source.
That's what I said.
No, but I disagree, David. We do have the source because again, if you look at the Champions League, look at the Champions CBS, it's all British people. It literally is all British people running that show. So
it's Brits or European people.
I class Henri as a Brit as well, but yeah. But yeah.
Look at that. Henri has too much sauce because he's British. Look at that to him.
For real, way too much.
But you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah, he's part of the British punditry and all that stuff. Yeah.
Guys, just to bring it,
it's just completely
back,
different.
Just to bring it back to the topic at hand, okay? I just want to say this. This isn't the reason why Aston Villa lost the top four.
Oh no, they're crap.
Because let me be very clear, guys. Ernest, you know what I'm like with Unai Emery. You know exactly what I'm like with Unai Emery.
Okay? Yeah, go on.
Your mate.
Coming for him, and I'll tell you why I'm coming for him. Because I thought I'll keep my powder dry on this guy, yeah. Because I thought let it marinate for a bit. The guy won about I think 6 or 7 games in a row, right? He was cooking in the league. But just before that, because do you know what? If you're a Villa fan, you'd feel hard done by it. It's a little bit like when Arsenal lost the league last year, where we won 100 games in a row, lost one in the middle, and we lost the title basically in that Villa home game last year. But Unai Emery went through a run. I think they won about 6 in a row, 7 in a row. They did tremendous. I remember they beat when I think about it, they beat obviously they beat Spurs, they beat I think Bournemouth, Fulham. They lost to City, but who doesn't? They beat Newcastle, they beat Southampton.
Some good teams in there. Yeah.
They beat some good teams, like winning Brentford away, this, that, and the other. I remembered where they lost the Champions League. And I'll tell you where they lost it. 4-1 at home away to Crystal Palace. Yeah. They drew 2-2 with Liverpool. They drew 1-0 with Ipswich at home. They lost to Wolves 2-0 away and drew 1-1 at home to West Ham. There was a series of games they went through that they never recovered from.
I would argue that your critique of Emery is harsh.
He conceded 51 goals this season. Should I say the last time he conceded 51 goals? When he was the Arsenal manager and we lost the top 4 to Tottenham by 1 point. concedes way too many goals. But look at and also you probably watched it on the Man United game the other day. It's harem scarum in defense with Unai Emery, and always has been. When we talk about good Emery, we talk about the attacking flair. We talk about the goals that he gets out of strikers. We talk about all of that good stuff. Guys, the defending is not talked about enough with this man. And I lived with it for a year and a half, watching my teams get packed in. Arsenal conceded 51 goals, finishing 5th under Unai Emery. 51 goals is too many goals.
I will concede that that's the chink in his armor. But let me give you a statistic.
Give it.
He's 2 points off the points he finished last year.
Mm-hmm.
That to me is round and about. I think you, when you lot finished 5th, he finished on 70 points. He was 1 point behind Tottenham.
Mm-hmm.
He's been at Villa for 2.5, 3 years. He's hit the 68 mark last year. He's hit the 66 mark this year. For right or wrong reasons, he's not qualified for the Champions League this year. I personally don't think it's the end of the world. I think he's where he should be if I'm the Villa owner. He's playing in Europe next year. Yes, it's nice that we beat Bayern Munich at home. Mm-hmm. It's nice that we were in the Champions League and at one point in top 3.
What's in the quarterfinal, my bro?
He got to a quarterfinal against PSG and lost.
And he took them to the limit.
Because he didn't do enough in Paris, you know? Mm-hmm. So I think that saying that Unai Emery had his flaws this season is where I leave it.
Yeah,
I'm not critiquing him beyond that.
Do you know what it is?
Yeah. To me, the guy has competed with
where he's supposed to be.
I'm not feeling sorry for him on some, he didn't have money. No, he spent money.
Oh, he's spent, yeah.
He spent bread.
Some of it was badly. Some of it was badly as well.
He spent flipping baguette. He spent all types of bread has been spent at Villa Park.
Yeah.
And he sold Duran for 70 million. So I'm not gonna feel sorry for him in that regard. But if you're Villa,
although that could have cost them in the end.
I was gonna say that
it can cost them in the end as far as like Champions League money and that.
Like a firepower, yeah.
But ultimately, they put Emery on a 4-year contract. Emery, to me, is performing within
his remit.
The remit of what he's supposed to be doing at Villa.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is, Annie? Do you know what it is? I think because as Villa as a whole, where they end up now, if they would have any I was gonna say any part of Europe, but Europa League fighting for Champions League almost there works for them as a club. I think the issue that some people will have when it comes to Emery is specifically Emery, not the club. Aston Villa itself, finishing where they are, works for them. If they would have finished 5th, 6th, it still kind of works with where they are. The issue is, it's the praise that Emery got in general that is what's rubbed people the wrong way. The way they kind of put him as like being like Emery as an entity of Emery, he has won Europa, he's done all this. He's one of the best, but I think it's the manner in which they kind of talked about him as if he was like a Pep. And you can do that face Oscar, but it was what they were doing.
When were people calling him? When were people talking about him like Pep?
The level at which he was getting praised.
He was the second best coach in the league, though.
Let's not pretend. So that's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is Aston Villa as an entity, what I'm saying is Aston Villa as a club, what they've done, you can never hit them because they're in Europe. And what I'm saying, I think the energy people have is not for Aston Villa. I think it's purely for Emery because the energy they have for Emery when it comes to how he moves this season, about certain things is like how he sets up the things, how certain things is like the energy. If you're supposedly the second best manager in the league, and they weren't saying it was like they're saying it was Pep and it was him. Respectfully, some of the things that he should have got Champions League based purely on that. Then, not saying I'm going to hit the forward, but I'm saying the way they play, that's what it is.
I understood it to be that it was Pep and then everybody else.
That's not what they were saying, though. That's what the thing.
I'm not going to defend the pantheon of fans who either did too much or were measured or did too little. But at the time, it was more. It's like today. Okay, it's like today. Who's a better coach, Slot or Arteta?
It's been Slot though. That's not new.
No. Before he came to England, I don't think the majority would have said Slot was better than Arteta.
I mean, don't ask me though, because that's different.
Respectfully, you're a measured fan. Bear man or not. That's just the game. Fair enough. So I'm saying the general consensus before Slot came, we all gave our predictions that the guy was not going to win the league this year. Because apart from Adrian, who I think it was maybe a week into the season kicking off, started to watch PSV videos and highlights and styles of play and patterns and stuff. Adrian was the only one saying, this Slot guy, I'm kind of seeing the vision. He's the closest thing to Klopp we have. None of us had done ample research to come to any conclusion that he was good, average, bad. Nobody had said that.
But bro, even up to that, it wasn't to win the league. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, thank you. And I would submit it was when he gave the 1 minute assessment of Man United, people's antennas went up. Who is this guy? We've never heard of him before. So I'm saying that the assessment that people made of Slot prior to his arrival, I would say, in my opinion, I'm not going to sit here and say you're right or wrong, Lola, is what I assessed. And I think that's why Oscar raises antennas as well, that I don't think people were saying he's on the same level as Pep, but it was like, this guy is a serial winner, whether you rate the Europa League or not. So after Klopp has gone, we've got David Moyes, we've got Eric Ten Hag, we've got Mikel Arteta, and then everyone else, Enzo Maresca. Who is the guy after Pep Guardiola?
No, but I hear that, and I agree with that, because look at me. But me saying this, by the way, I also was saying that Emery's better than Arteta, because, like it or not, Emery has won. Yeah, I haven't shown you that. He's won Europa League most, something that Arteta has been in.
That means you entered some Illuminati group of people that were saying something, because I've never heard.
My whole point of what I'm trying to kind of say as to why Peter's maybe extra big on going on Emery, because if he was seen as the second, because like I said, Klopp's gone, and if people think that he's better than Arteta, because that was an argument as well, talking about, okay, who's the better one out of the two, then it's fair to kind of have him have extra onus onto saying, cool, if you're that next guy after Pep, then Champions League should be something you should get. It's not. I don't think it's a mad thing to say that.
The reason why I think it's
so the perfect word. It's more accountability on him.
If we remember
to higher standards.
I think he should be.
Guys, no, guys, that's completely out of the question right now. If we remember where Aston Villa were when they had Steven Gerrard, and Peter was telling us, what can they expect more than 17th with Steven Gerrard? They can't expect anything more. Then Unai Emery comes in. I'm sorry, guys, in the last 20 years of our lives, have we ever seen Aston Villa in the Champions League? No, we have not. So you can't just go, oh, because this manager's supposed to be this good, he's supposed to do it in his first season. He just came in first full season and put them in the Champions League, and they're getting to the quarterfinals. Like, fair enough.
But what's my argument?
You're saying that he should have done that. No,
I'm talking about this season, though. I'm talking about this season. I'm not talking about last season.
What's my argument about Unai Emery? I'm consistent since he joined my football club, because I've seen a scary streak in him that doesn't leave him. I talk about this every season with Unai Emery. And you know when the first time I noticed it, it was when he was at PSG and he lost to Barcelona. It's not a result I just forget. Emery goes through traumatic experiences in a season. And it's not to say or eradicate how tremendous he's done. Let me tell you something, guys. He's been superb for Aston Villa.
Fantastic.
Right. I'm parking that to one side, because what I'm saying to you is this. Villa were given a lifeline this season, just like every other Premier League team, where there was 5 places up for grabs in the Champions League, not 4. So you can make the argument that should Villa be a top 4 side? Probably not. But they were given a lifeline. And you know when that lifeline arose? When they started pissing about in the league. When they started dropping points, not winning in 5 games in a row with Wolves, Palace. We're talking about Palace, early doors Palace, right? We're talking about games where they were rocking up, getting... By the way, they lost 4-1 away at Palace. They were getting
Palace first half of the season was an atrocity.
They were getting touched. And guys, let's not let this slide. He's gone to Old Trafford and lost.
Yeah, but Pete, we know why he lost.
No.
Whoa, guys, he was down to 10 men and he had a legitimate goal.
We're not doing that. If we say Arsenal shouldn't complain about having 10 men and still being able to hold a game with 10 men, I'm gonna have the same opinion about other teams. You don't have to lose because you have 10 men. You don't have to lose.
I'm talking about the screw job in the box.
Yeah, the goal taken away.
Spent 20 minutes on VAR.
Okay, no, wait, pause. Let's give it a pause. How often, for the past few weeks, have we been talking about how bad United are and how good Aston Villa is?
Thank
Let's
you very
not be at a
much.
minute they couldn't
Thank
hold a
you very
draw.
much.
Let's not
Thank
do
you very
that.
much.
There's no denying that Aston Villa missed a golden opportunity to get themselves in the Champions League,
Yeah.
and that should be spoken about. However, I
Villa
just think
did not lose because of the referee. We were battering them. We
No,
were
that's it.
battering them.
I keep hearing this that the
We
United
were
were better
battering
team.
them. We
I
were
mean-
battering them.
In a game,
You
with
were battering them with 10 men.
No, but Oscar.
So we weren't battering them before the red card?
Yeah, you weren't about
Yeah,
you about to say.
Oscar,
About to say.
Oscar,
Are you sure about that?
Oscar, let's speak this.
Oscar didn't watch a game.
Oscar, let's
That-
speak
that-
now.
By the way, that's a whole half, Oscar.
Unai Emery.
Oscar, that's a whole half.
No.
It was 0-0. His team went 1-0 up,
No, but
and he got
Oscar,
absolutely screwed over.
Oscar, this is match of the day. This is match of the day analysis from you.
No.
This is the yellow card.
No, but hear this. What I'm saying is, look at this. And this is where it comes. But this is where the whole concept of like Emery's situation that Pete was talking about was before. It's like in a game where let's deep it. Aston Villa, we know what happens with PSR. If they don't get Champions League money, they're looking at that to sell a bag of their man. That's the thing that's coming up, by the way, because they haven't got Champions League. Look at all the things that are needed. This is a game where they needed to at least draw it to ensure they get Champions League. Didn't do it. All the things are gonna they're declared by points in the league, positions in the league, all this stuff they win in Champions League. They are better than Man United. Man United who just lost in a final.
Of course, yeah.
So all these things together, in the fact that they needed to win this game or not lose it. And they didn't. You cannot blame the fact that they got screwed over because they did. I'm not putting that away. They got screwed over with the goal that should have been given and it wasn't. But from everyone I've heard, from not just Man United fans, to general people who actually watched the game on Sunday, Man United were better than them before that.
No, we had 26 shots.
You were allowed in a game that you had to have not lost. Or at least
we had 26 shots.
They had to win.
Villa
you decided
had
to play
6.
rubbish to Man United. You allowed Man United to bully you.
We had 10
is
shots on
the whole
target.
thing.
They had 1.
Guys, I keep telling you, when Emery goes and plays certain games, certain grounds, he wets the bed every time.
But Pete,
Wait, let me finish. Every time. Because I lived it. And I'm talking about traumatic experiences, bro. But
that's why, though.
You know when Ernest pulled out the fact that we got 70 points and lost the Champions League by 1 point? Do you remember the defeats in a row of the last 5 games of the season? We lost 3-0 at Wolves.
This is a lost Emery.
3 at Leicester. We lost at Everton. We drew at home to Palace and Brighton. In fact, Palace beat us at home.
Had Watford in there.
Man United had 300 more passes than Aston Villa.
And this is what it is with Emery.
You're taking a piss.
Emery will always at least. No, but hold on. Emery will always give you at least one season where he's like, Emery, he either wins the Europa League or he doesn't think like he gets into Champions League, that kind of vibe. But then, like you just said, he's got, I think Ernest said he's got like 2 less points than he did last season. I got him in Champions League, all this thing. There's a pattern with Emery. He gives you one great, and then the other ones is like, it's always, oh, he almost got it. Or he just got one off of it. It's a pattern.
He almost.
Very much.
It's always the game. It's always the game that matters where Emery struggles.
Yeah, let me flag something. You talked about those points. He got X amount of points this time last year. What were the points numbers, just out of curiosity? Because it's not worthy to be in the top 4.
He got 66 points this year.
No?
Yeah, 66.
And you got 68 last year.
Yeah, that's not Champions League points.
Teams have got top 4 with 66 before.
I'm not saying they haven't.
No, ultimately, the points matter more than the position.
The points do matter.
Why?
Because
Depends on the season, to be honest, though.
I'm saying because you can finish in a specific position. Like, for example, I always say we finished 8th last year. We were 9 points off top 4 last season. But the points tell you United were not worthy. And on another day, it benefited another team. The points matter. Everyone's like Arsenal fans on Twitter have been hilarious the last 2 months.
They've been a bit much.
They're saying Liverpool are doing a Leicester season. They even get 90 points. I'm like, so what does that mean for you?
We barely touched 70. Did we even touch 70?
Crazy league title win.
But again, Peter,
10 points behind 74.
70 something points this season.
Yeah, the points are whatever.
You were secure in second.
The points are his position.
In last season, you blew more than 80 points. Sorry, the season before. Sorry.
We spent a large chunk on Villa, to be honest.
Yeah, they conceded 51 goals. I'm gonna leave it there. We'll move to the next.
I think being in Europa League for them is probably better than the Champions League.
It is.
Especially the new format.
And again, they've got Emery.
They've got Unai. They've got a top manager.
Also, so should he win it next year?
Yes.
They're the favourite.
They should be in one of the favourites to win it. Yeah, they should.
If one thing has told me about Europe this season, the Premier League is miles ahead than the rest of Europe.
English teams should be in all the European finals.
They should be in the semis.
At
Is
least
my
one team.
I think it's semi-finals.
Semis.
Not the Champions.
Why not?
Not the Champions League. The Champions League is an exception.
And PSG played is different to what Arsenal was playing.
Nah, Arsenal should have been there.
No, I'm not. No, they shouldn't. No, they should not.
It was marginal.
No.
Was it?
No, it wasn't.
That one I'm not giving you any. It's marginal in the sense that
in hindsight it was marginal.
The best Arsenal would be there. It was the injuries.
It wasn't the injuries. It wasn't the injuries.
No, it was injuries. No,
it wasn't the injuries.
What I'm saying is, if we can do these things about how context matters, in certain games, we should have scored more goals. It didn't happen. PSG did. So what I'm saying is, PSG deserves to be in the final.
I can say that for Bayern Munich last year.
No, but my point is, it's not a thing where I can say like, if Arsenal were in the final, it's not a thing I'm going to sit here and be like, no, we didn't deserve to be in it.
No, I'm saying.
No, but marginal.
Pardon?
Yeah, the marginal was not the word to use. Because
but bear in mind,
fair enough.
No.
Marginal is not the word.
Bear in mind, though, Robin. I'm not talking about it in the sense of this season and what's just happened. I mean, next season there should be an English team in the Champions League final. That's what I don't agree with quality.
I don't agree with that.
I disagree. Semi-final. I'm all for it.
Inter and PSG this year.
Yeah, and they've been great.
Deserved.
Yes.
Deserved. Deserved.
Neither of those teams are you looking at them like, raw, this is by far the best team in Europe.
No, but
PSG are one game away from a treble.
No. But the point is,
PSG are one game from a treble. What's going on here?
No. But the point is, all four teams from the semi-final, all in my opinion, all four of them could have been in the final.
That's my point.
But our point is saying that semi-finals make sense. Same has to be in the finals different.
Yeah.
Fair enough, Matt. Fair enough.
Let's have it right. Arsenal overachieved in the Champions League. We're not ready for that conversation.
So what? That's what we're saying.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you.
It's just Oscar.
Oscar said English teams have to make I said not the Champions League.
Yes.
English teams have to make the final.
Europa League, I can hear.
Yeah, not Europa League, I hear it. Conference, I hear it.
Europa, I hear it. Champions League is semi-finals. What I'm looking at.
The conference and the Europa League, because of the size of the money that these English clubs have.
Finals, 100% finals.
Yeah.
But the Champions League, it's different gravy.
If you said to me City 2023, if you said to me Liverpool 2023, I'm here. Arsenal, I don't see it till I believe. I don't believe it till I see it. No way. I don't.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough.
I don't.
Bro, Chelsea didn't register Cole Palmer for the group stage of the Conference League. Let's move forward.
And they're going to win it.
And well, let's see.
They're going to win.
No. Oh, Pete, I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong.
Let's talk Chelsea. Chelsea,
let's get into it.
Have made the Champions League against all odds. They've gone.
Can I say Oscar?
Oscar didn't
believe, because I kept asking him every week, and I keep telling him that Chelsea are going to make the Champions League. We didn't believe.
Yes. Yeah, I had absolutely no faith in us going to the City ground on a day when they needed to win. The fact that I just thought the atmosphere would be too big. I thought the squad is too small, too inexperienced to deal with a game that big. There was no ounce of me that thought we were gonna find it as easy as we did. But I do have to say, thank you, Nuno Espirito Santos. For
they're another team.
They're
another team.
No. It was terrible, and I kept saying it. That I said, you know what? We have not covered the full form Forest enough, because yes, it is a one-off season. Yes, they've done well, and the position that they finished with, in hindsight, is a great position, Conference League. But let's not keep it a buck. They were dominating teams left, right, and centre, and were comfortable third. And the fall has been,
because the context, like I was saying, context matters. On paper, Forest getting seventh is seventh, right?
It's
Yeah,
bro,
7th.
10
They're in the conference league.
Forest getting 7th, which is Europe in general, is a fantastic finish.
They doubled their point tally from last year.
If you just look at it on paper, in context of the season, their fall has been something that's speech because it's hilarious. Because I don't care if you talk about it's Forest and the way they were from being third, almost taking second, to being 7th, you cannot ignore that.
You don't remember that old meme of the girl, the girl from the black girl from America? She's in the back of the car. She's like 4 years old. I told y'all niggas.
Come get your man.
I told you about Nottingham Forest and their haram football. I told you about this football.
He did.
Haram. Nuno spirit of God. I don't know where he's getting the power from. That's why the owner came down on the pitch, not because of the tirade.
The Mac 10. What the hell are you doing with my team? What you doing about money?
Listen, you got my money, Smokey? Oh, big worm.
Oh, worm. Ernest, can I give you some statistics?
I need the stats, bro.
Are you ready? In the last 4 home games, how many points do you think they got?
Oh, come on, man.
0.
12 are up for grabs. Last 4.
I think it's 0. I think the answer is 0.
No, wait.
I genuinely think the answer is 0.
Before you answer, it was Chelsea, Leicester, Brentford, and Everton. I want you to answer.
That's like 2 points. That's like 2.
12 points were up for grabs.
1 point.
Final 4.
1 point.
How many points do you think they got?
Eurovision.
It has to be either they didn't win a game or they got like 3 or 4.
It's 1.
All I remember is they drew 2-2 with Leicester.
It's 1.
That's all you need to remember. Because they did not win any.
That's what I'm saying. They got 1 point.
The 1 point they got is, as you said, Ernest, because they lost at home to Everton. Stink.
Nah, guys.
Stink. They lost at home to Chelsea on the final day.
Someone said they lost 15.
Bro, at home. They lost the Champions League at home.
And do you know what it is, Pete? They're all winnable games.
Do you know how many goals they scored in that time? Do you know how many goals they scored in that time?
I don't know.
The 2 goals against Forest. Against Leicester.
Yeah,
That's absolutely shocking.
Chris Wood fell off.
Man were telling me about Elanga. Man were telling me about Hudson.
Yeah, where's your boy, Oscar?
He's my boy. What, Cho?
What guankers?
If you score 2 goals at home, if you score 2 goals at home against
Leicester, had a bad career,
and it's not 3 points.
Pete, they were talking about Cho. There was a part of the season. I think it was this year. He scored like 5 goals. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about this guy for? I'm not hearing about none of them guys.
Yeah, he finished on
Sancho should go there. Sancho should go to Forest.
He might do something. The vibes would be brilliant. Perfect club for him. But
this is why football is so enticing, yeah. Because literally, these guys were one of those games we're talking about. If they just beat Everton at home, or if they just put away Leicester at home, we're talking about Forest in such a different light. That it's like just minuscule decisions that take you from
spliff, myth, biff, diff, Forest and 5.
No,
get them out of here, man.
No, but Ernest, yeah. Can I? Oscar, 1 second. Can I bring? Because let's bring Villa and Newcastle in this conversation. Because
I'm saying I'm going to call Newcastle the same way.
Imagine the final day you need to win to secure Champions League, and of the 4 contenders, 3 of them lost.
Deep this.
What?
Newcastle, this is what I'm saying.
Come on,
Newcastle could have not got the Champions League either. All the gas for them as well. All the praise.
I would have loved it if Newcastle missed out. I would have loved that.
Do you know what? I kind of hope they did. I was so fed up with them.
Fed up of what?
No, because the maggot they're getting on their name is annoying and they're thugs. I don't like thugs.
Yeah.
What did Ernest call them? Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Bone Thugs and Harmony.
What are you doing?
Crazy Bone, Lazy Bone, Eddie, whatever.
No, it's because
you gotta get how you can. Not everyone can play football.
No, do you know what it is? It's because they got man like Isak and Gordon that gives them a little bit, and Tonali in there. They give them a little bit of like spice.
And Joe Lennon.
A bit of flavour. Yeah.
Newcastle and Forest are the same. They're just thugs. They run, they move about. They're the same, but Newcastle got a little bit of like 1-2 Maggie cubes there to make it extra. They're nonsense. I was so wanting them not to get it.
And also
they even lost. They even lost. This is why I even hate Villa and not Villa. Yeah, Villa and Forest as well. One of you guys should have cut them out. You didn't.
Yeah.
Do you know what, guys? Newcastle won 2 of the last 6 are in the Champions League. What the fuck is going on here?
But you know what? This
Gangster.
The fact that we're complaining about these dibby teams.
It was a lack of a raise.
I think speaks volumes, decibels on the 2 teams that were flirting with relegation this season. Because as I told you about in the group chat, yeah, this season is embarrassing for a lot of reasons, you know. There were 5 slots available for Champions League football, not because you're on the Europa League, not because you were doing a little dance here and there, but actual ball. Play football and be better than the other 15 teams in the flipping league.
Oh man, football's finished.
No, Manchester United football club. I don't even care about Tottenham because I'm gonna leave that to expressions. You can do it here because from the bottom of my heart, I don't give a damn about Tottenham. Yeah, in fact, I'm happy. I'm actually happy they won a trophy because it means after 17 years they could say, okay, I won something. You know, like little bros. You got me today. I'll beat you 1v1 every week. You can hold so. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna get you on.
But ultimately, I think this year should be embarrassing for Man United because next year Newcastle are going to stink up the Champions League. and the things we're all going to be here for it because how vastly different is their football going to be next year? How different is it going to be? And if Newcastle go far, it's only on the premise that they're going to bulldoze their way to February, and then they're gonna meet real sauce, and they're going to get slapped. Fabian Schär on a Tuesday night. Yeshua, can you do something?
At Atletico Madrid.
Guys,
can I
do something?
Ernest, do you want more embarrassment for this season? You know, football, the Premier League is finished this year. Football's finished.
That's one of the discussions I want to have in the summer on the podcast.
Fair.
We need to talk about the Premier League and the big teams this year and how embarrassing they get.
Madam, let's have a hear this out. Yeah, hear this sentence. In the top 5, yeah, Premier League top 5 in terms of securing Champions League, you know, Chelsea had to do it on the last day. Villa, Newcastle, they all fought for it the last day. How can Tottenham be the 3rd confirmed team in the Champions League this season?
That's crazy.
How does that work?
They were finished. The 3rd.
Football's finished. They confirmed. What's it called?
Liverpool got confirmed. Arsenal got confirmed.
Then Tottenham. Before
Tottenham knew their fate before Chelsea.
Not even
That's
City.
in 17th place.
Not even City.
For Newcastle.
Not even Manchester City were confirmed, you know. That's how mad it was.
The people who won 2 years ago.
City had to go and play Bournemouth and make sure they win, then play Fulham. Meanwhile, Tottenham were in the Champions League on Wednesday night. Nah, man.
No, guys, only is it 2 teams in the top 5 on 70+ points?
And Arsenal.
That is nasty.
By 1 point is even Arsenal. That's what I'm saying as well. By 1 point.
No. Three teams. Man City got 71.
City got 71.
Did they?
Arsenal got 74. Yeah.
No. I'm not even talking about Liverpool. I'm saying of the teams that had to qualify.
Oh yeah, 2. Only 2. Great.
Because more times, if you're 4th and you're a DB team and you just get in, you're on 66.
Something like that. Something light.
So you're telling don't even fight
66 points. 66 points was the threshold this season for Champions League.
You know what I call that? That's called Champions League light. When you make the top 4 and you're in the 60s, it's Champions League light. You ain't ready for the big one. You ain't ready for the big one. You're ready for Girona away and maybe a little Slavia Prague.
I have to disagree.
That's Krasnodar, them thing there.
Under Frank Lampard, Chelsea got 66 points and entered the Champions League. We won it the next year.
Because you sacked the manager. You fraud. You freaking fraud.
What is a fact? Why am I a clown? It's true.
because you got an elite manager in and he won the Champions League first attempt.
We won the thing the next year.
Okay, your head.
Can I talk about my Chelsea for a second?
Yeah, go on.
Go on, quickly.
Chelsea. Jamie Carragher, you're a fraud. Gary Neville, you're a fraud. Peter Majuzzi, you're a fraud. All of you.
Wait. Why am I a fraud? I believed.
Oscar, add yourself.
I
please.
believed.
Oscar, add yourself, please.
He said all of us. He said all of us. He said all of us. I said whoa.
I just named 3 people, Robin. Why would you include
And
yourself?
then you said all of us, and then you said all of us afterwards. I said, hold on.
No, he means all
He
three.
meant
He
all
means
in
all
his
three.
hands.
3.
Okay.
I'm saying add yourself.
Hey,
because you didn't agree with yourself.
Robin put the Strally back in.
Aye.
Okay.
Listen,
What did you say?
Why I'm not including this, is because at the beginning of the season, before a ball was kicked,
yes, he
my
did
club
say
had
this.
haters. Yeah, my club had people adamantly coming out telling me there's no way this shower of crap squad is going to make top 4, and I consistently said to you guys, this team is good enough to be in the top 4 in this league, and it should get there. And if it doesn't get there, get this manager out. And if it does, fair play. So my estimation for Chelsea at the beginning of the season, top 4 and a trophy. We're in a final on Sunday, and we've secured Champions League football for next season. So Enzo Maresca, you've got it by the skin of your teeth. Well done. Congrats.
Shout out to Enzo Maresca.
But I had to argue with PR, who on the first day of the season couldn't believe that Chelsea were going to do any better than we did the year prior under Pochettino. But one thing you need to remember, PR, it is May. We're about to enter June and then July. And do you know what that is, PR? Wedding season. And what did you call Maurizio Pochettino for years and years and years? The bridesmaid and never the bride. The objective of him was to get Chelsea in the Champions League. He didn't do it. Enzo Maresca comes in, championship manager, as I was told, did it in his first season. So
He was though.
fair play.
That's not a lie.
Listen.
I
Had Villa and Newcastle done their job, would you even be in the Champions League?
Oh, we can say that every year for every team that makes it.
I'm just saying. No, but you're going on like Chelsea comfortably got there. Man had to go to the City ground and sweat blood and tears for it with a Colwill finish. With a Colwill finish.
On like anything. I told you
ground.
Chelsea would be top 4. You said they would not. Before a ball was
And
kicked.
Oscar, here's the truth of the matter. Listen. Chelsea got the points. They've earned it. They deserve to be there. No doubt about that. Should they be in the top 4, people?
But
it's not about that.
It doesn't really matter though, because like
It's not about that.
It's not about
It's
that.
not about that.
When I said about Emery, you don't want to hear it. So
because the same thing you can say the same thing about everyone else in the top 4.
What you're doing is classic golden age hating. I'm for it. I'm for it. But
and the thing that irks me the most is people that were like, "Oh, why did you sack Pochettino? How could you let Pochettino?" Pochettino proved last season that he ain't good enough to get Chelsea in the Champions League. And it's not like I wanted trophies from this guy. I just wanted a Champions League football, and he did not deliver.
Oscar, I thought Poch would have got you in the top 4 this year had he been the manager this year.
Why didn't he do it last year?
Listen, because when he joined the club, and you would know this better than I do, when he joined, obviously it was a bit of a slow start of a season. Towards the end of the season, though, he got the team going. He got them going in the last 10 games.
And I told you guys so many times on this podcast, those last 10 games are the biggest fugazi wahala crap. Question. You guys believe the gas.
Question.
Yeah, we had 6 good games out of 10. And we drew with Sheffield United. People were talking about
60%, no?
Question. No. Do you think Maresca's a better coach than Poch?
For Chelsea right now, he's better.
Not outcomes based. Actually, just compare them two. Who do you think is better?
It's hard because Pochettino's done stuff in the game that Maresca can only dream of.
Fair.
That makes him better.
But historically, historically, Poch is better.
No, you can be bad for a team
and still be better.
But still be better.
No, but I think going forward, but bro, Mauricio Pochettino is managing United.
No, Oscar. I can say that Maresca's ceiling is higher.
Yeah,
because he's had less time in the game, but Poch is a better coach.
This is like the second season, by the way. Yeah, so it's still young.
It's not a crime to say that Poch is a better manager and you don't want him. That's not a bad thing.
I genuinely think Poch would be better. Would have been better between in terms of ceilings at Chelsea. I think Poch would have been way better.
I think Poch is wet, so I don't think he would have done.
I think the proof is in this season, and this season Oscar's right.
Yeah, Maresca did what Poch was meant to do.
You got to remember what Poch joined and what Maresca
Monday was top 4 and he done it. So.
No, I hear you, but I'm just saying.
Joined.
How much different is the team then and now?
Bro,
we added Neto,
the Lampard and thingy, the Lampard and Potter era, and then Poch came and picked that up.
No, I know, but my point is in terms of quality.
Yeah, it's the same quality. Who'd you add?
How much more did Chelsea add?
No, but you know what? Like certain teams, for example, like Chelsea, the quality never really is the question. It's just the mentality, it's the continuity, it's the teamwork ethic. It's not even necessarily about the individuals.
If Enzo has gotten more out of that team, if you're saying quality is not an issue, then surely he deserves to be in the Champions League.
Do you know what it is? I don't particularly rate Maresca like that personally, but he did what Poch couldn't do, and that was hit in Champions League. Personally,
was scary,
I wouldn't be shocked if Maresca's gone next season because Poch, I don't think he was going to guarantee them top 4 either. In my opinion, I don't think he's that great. But I'm saying out of the two, the only thing I can say for Maresca is good job. You were in the Championship, you got into the Champions League, clap for yourself. I don't know how he's going to fare next season personally. He could change. You never know. He could actually have found comfort and be like, cool, I know what I'm on now. I'm going to get certain man out. I'm going to get certain man in. This could be a whole thing where now I can get running. Or he could be what I think he's going to be a bum and he can just be gone by midway through next season.
I genuinely think it's going to be transfer dependent for Chelsea. Who they get in will definitely mask what happens with Maresca.
Because what we can't do, is that thing where fans have to get amnesia and pretend they loved him the entire season. So enough Chelsea fans who did not want this man to continue, even if he got through to the Champions League.
I was about to ask that as Oscar, you back in then with the Maresca?
If this was a checkpoint, right? It was a checkpoint. If you get yourself top 4, buy yourself another year. I was ready to be Maresca out if we didn't win on Sunday. I was so ready.
That's fair.
I was so ready.
I want Maresca out pre-season, mate.
My belief on Maresca is simply that when it comes to the real deal, the guy will fail.
Chelsea. I'm curious about Chelsea in the Champions League, though.
Yeah, we'll never know until it happens. He hasn't been in the Champions League yet. He hasn't done the whole kind of thing. Because look at it. His way of doing 2 games a week with Europe is Conference League, where like you said, he didn't have to put the big boys in there.
He played a different squad.
So happens where now he has to actually play basically the same squad now for both games.
I don't. On average, Chelsea are the youngest squad in Premier League history. 24 years. Absolutely no experience in that side whatsoever. So
it's gonna be.
It's just a stat. That's what it is.
£1 billion.
Okay, let's continue. I thought you were going to end it with something. Okay.
Yeah, no. Chelsea will be very interesting next season. If you don't do anything significant in the transfer window. Yeah,
but they will. It's not like
the thing is,
it's Chelsea.
I'd agree, Robin. Like you said, it's Chelsea, and obviously we heard Gary Neville waxing lyrical about £1 billion bottle jobs. I haven't heard him say anything quite scathing about other clubs, but when it comes to Chelsea in the transfer window,
Forest,
they just need to be like buying a competent goalkeeper is not. It's not a crazy ask. Yeah, buying a good centre back, it's not a crazy ask. I don't like Chelsea. Don't need to go out and buy a world class player.
I mean, the way they're doing the prop for centres, you don't know. He could stay.
Nah, man.
I've seen the prop on this boy. They're giving the whole. He had the best save percentage in the Prem. I'm seeing it.
Save percentage.
I'm seeing that. I'm just saying. I'm seeing. They showed the clean sheet list and it was up. I think it was like top 5 of it. I'm saying. The PR they're doing his name slyly.
That's crazy.
Like
pick up Bobby.
Oscar, go buy a striker. Is what else you need to do.
Yeah, they need a striker. That's
if you look at it, if I think of Chelsea, number 9. That's the first thing.
You think that they've only had about two good forwards in Premier League history, like 3 maybe.
Costa.
Yeah, but look at the difference.
Hasselbank,
those
Costa,
2 made.
Okay.
Drogba. The rest have been fugazi.
I'd add
okay, I know. Okay, 3.5. Okay, yeah.
But yeah, no, you're bang on. You're bang on. We just need to be serious and sign Victor Osimhen. That's it.
Okay, question, Oscar, quickly. The links have been stronger to Delap. What are you saying?
Oh God.
Well, I'm like Delap's not a needle mover for Chelsea. I don't think.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm gauging it. I've seen some who aren't for it. I've seen some who are. So I'm just kind of curious.
Yeah. like one of my biggest issues with Chelsea this season and Maresca in general is that we did not win any of the big games this year. We didn't do anything at Arsenal. We didn't do anything. We still haven't won at Old Trafford for years. So I'm just like, you need to get compete in those big games, compete and win half of them.
Are you men still wedded to that?
The lap's not taking us there. We need a surgical striker to just finish chances that aren't even.
Are you guys still wedded to the whole no over 25 thing?
Yeah, the club's going to do it. The fact that we succeeded was a huge thing for the club, so I think they're going to do that.
That's why I don't think Osimhen goes to Chelsea.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking.
How old's Osimhen?
26?
98.
Even 26 for 10 years, you know.
26.
It's going to be
26.
Oh my gosh, he's so old. 26.
Could be 27.
I feel like he's like above the. That's what I was asking because you mentioned Osimhen. I was like,
he's like 28, 29, no?
I was gonna say, are you
No,
guys?
he's according to Wikipedia, he's 26 and he will be 27 in December.
Nah, man.
Don't question it. We're going by the books.
Yeah,
We're going by the
probably.
books. Whether or not we believe it or not is not the point.
We're going by the books.
He was up front. He was up front with Pepe at Lille 10 years ago.
Wait. How old's his daughter? Because his daughter was doing the score announcing at Galatasaray. They're kind of old.
No, she sounds like she's like under 6. She sounds.
Are you sure? I thought at least 7.
For
years. I said they cooked the books for his daughter as well. You know, crazy.
Right. Baby, relax.
Guys, let's
There's a
move
bit of
along.
bass in that still, man.
Let's move it along.
Yeah. Let's move on.
Because we're so late.
I thought I forgot something.
I believe in the Chelsea striker curse though.
It's a real
What, the
thing.
number 9?
Yeah, I think it's a real curse.
Since Torres, bruv. Since Cashman.
Like,
Just for bums. Remember Forsell? It was on loan for like 4 years. Awful guy.
Come on. That's
Hey,
not
you know how gassed they were when he was announced. How many times has my man blown his balloon?
Maybe like 8 times.
Wrong.
Yeah, man.
And you know he's holding them. He's waiting to score. They're always there.
I actually really liked him.
He's got a boxing boat. He put like 50 at the start of the season. He's got like 47 still left. Crazy team.
Oh,
Right.
gosh.
Guys, very quickly before we get onto the awards for the season, Napoli and Scott McTominay. Guys, Scott McTominay, Napoli, Serie A champions. Did you know McTominay got Player of the Year in Serie A?
he got MVP.
He got everything.
Yeah.
But you know what?
There's a pizza.
You know what?
after him.
I'll say 2 things. Shout out to Scott McTominay.
No, shout out to him though. Still,
Big shout out to Scott McTominay because he's scoring goals I have never seen before.
Nah.
He's doing stuff with the ball. He didn't have the time nor the day in the Premier. Yeah. But just like I said about these Europa League teams, I'm looking at Napoli and that league. I'm looking at that league a bit funny, man.
Because it's Scotty.
No. Forget Scott McTominay. Did you see Lukaku's goal?
no, that's Lukaku does that. But
No. Oh man.
No, but let's be fair. Lukaku's whole thing. The thing we've always said about certain these leagues is if you have enough PNP, you can bully. Something is all athleticism. I mean, Lukaku is all athleticism.
He is all American athlete.
That's what we're saying. It's certain players you can tell are just PNP. Yeah,
Wait,
not working for you in the
he's
Prem.
an All-American.
Scott McTominay. No, Peter. Scott McTominay has a mullet. He has a mullet. He is all American. He's all American.
Scott McTominay in like Top Gun Maverick. Like,
but do you know what I love about this season for Napoli? Yeah, is because what you read on the internet, what you hear, it's not always true. What I saw with my eyes at Manchester United, I saw Scott McTominay and I saw a superstar. I saw
No, it is. I'll give Oscar that. He's been on this side.
MVP, guys. I saw it.
But the thing is, though, I've always been of the opinion. McTominay is the same, not the same level, but hear what I'm saying. I don't mean the same player. It's the same reason why I don't love.
SW6 point is true. Inter are a disgrace.
Yeah,
Inter
but what I was going to say is like it's not the same level.
Inter.
But it's the same way I don't call Bruno Fernandes. He's not a midfielder to me. It's similar to why I don't call McTominay not a midfielder. These are men who happen to their position is midfielders, but them men are just basically box crushers or scorers.
Facts.
McTominay is not a midfielder.
And
When he plays, he's not a midfielder. But
That
he's
last
a
game brother
body.
in Madrid too. Don't forget him.
Do you see that one?
Oh,
Do that one there.
ooh.
I didn't bring him out. That's you. My point is, these guys don't look good on the ball. They kind of lose it. They kind of juggle it around. But if you let them get in the box, run in the box, crash the box, they will get you what you need. Same thing with Bruno. It's same thing. They might just kind of big boys, athletic, and they can get away with it in certain leagues. The Premier League, you get found out a bit more, which is again why I said I wasn't buying this Bruno Fernandes run that he had for Man United, and it showed up in the final. You knew what was going to happen with that. We had to actually be a midfielder.
You see in the final,
but same thing.
I tweeted, yeah, none of you can gaslight me about this Bruno. None of you can gaslight me. This guy, someone said it best on Twitter, yeah, he's just slowed down because he's not doing the Hollywood thing no more. He's just, if I play at this pace, I can read the game better. Wow.
He's not a
Oh my
midfielder.
God.
And the same thing with Scott. But you know what? I don't mind it. Scott, he got released from the shackles of Man United and said, let me go to Italy and I could power block these man. And that's what he did.
No, I'm happy for him. I'm always happy for players I critique and I cuss to do well somewhere else.
I was smiling. I saw the video of him getting announced. When he was getting announced by the crowd and you heard him all saying his name, I was like, you know what? Fair enough.
But they call him Braveheart.
No. Do you know that he has? Do you know how they put Maradona in the Jesus Christ photo? They've done it for Scott McTominay as well.
They love him.
They love him.
Yeah,
and you know
they love him. And kudos. And that's what I said. Kudos to Scott McTominay. Well done. I'm clapping for you. I'm glad and I'm happy that you've done that. I don't care what he does in Serie. I'm very disappointed in Inter. Very, very disappointed in Inter. But we've got a Champions League. I might forgive them for that. But yeah, they should have won this league. Inter Milan.
Also,
if we're being real.
Billy Gilmore being an athlete is hilarious. And Billing. Both of them.
Billing?
Billing's there.
Bro, Gilmore, Billing.
What Billing?
From
Philip Billing. Philip Billing is a Serie A winner.
Bro, Scott McTominay and Philip Billing.
One thing Conte likes is men.
Give me some bullies, I'll give you some
men. And we'll make things happen.
But do you know what's so funny? We've said this for a while that English players or players from the UK they never go abroad. Now they're going abroad, they're reaping wars. We sure said we should go. But then it questions again about Europe.
These are the champions of Italy. And you lot are telling me it's fine for English teams to not be in that final. Get out of here.
Conte's a house party.
Hey, look,
the house party is lit.
Like I said,
Oscar, slow down. Yeah? What's the furthest the Conte team has got into in Europe?
Quarters.
Oscar, can I, for the masses out there, you don't know I'm a bigger Conte apologist, but do you know how many goals Napoli scored this season?
I don't know.
72.
They scored 59 goals.
Yeah, they're Scott McTominay scored 12 goals, by the way, throughout the whole season. That's
Napoli didn't score 60 goals.
Just for context, Atalanta got 78, Inter got 79. Napoli won the league title with 59 points. You see, Antonio Badman Gangster Conte. Yeah? I don't even need goals. The league.
Sorry, they won the league with 50.
Antonio Conte comes from the Italian Supreme Force of Defense.
No,
he knows
the military of the Ministry of Defense in Italy for sure.
Yes.
Scandal. Guys, the man conceded 27 goals all season. Bear in mind, he lost Kvaratskhelia as well in January.
Yeah.
Real. That's a real nig. That's a real one right there. That's all I can say.
Relax.
Shall we move on?
Quickly. To add though, I think Gibbs' wife will do well in Italy. By the way.
Who's that?
In Italy, or what team are we talking?
I don't care. One of the good ones. Would be one of them up there who buys him. But I think he'll do well. I think his tech is overrated, but I think his P&P and quick pace and how he moves will smash in Italy.
Who's this?
Gibbs White.
Morgan Gibbs White.
I think Morgan Gibbs White. Yeah, I agree. He could definitely do well in some of these other leagues.
Continue.
So, I don't know if you lot saw outside the stadium in Napoli, but it was like civil war. It looked like World
went
War
off.
III, bro.
It's beautiful.
The smoke, the colors, everything. It covered
Everything.
the city of Naples.
No,
Absolutely.
I'm amazed that this is their 4th league title.
Yeah, 4th, you know.
yeah,
Right?
Oh,
In what
Ever.
sense?
I don't know. I thought they
Ever.
had more. I just thought they had more.
Because of Maradona, I've always thought Napoli was one of the teams.
Bro, that's why Maradona is Lord and Savior. The guy left Barcelona, went to a team that didn't win niche, and in his first 2 years, he
You're not
brings
fair.
them Serie A and he brings them the UEFA Cup.
Fair.
Bro,
Then another Serie A after that.
Yeah.
listen, Napoli is Empoli now. You know what I'm saying? Like then,
Is
it's like,
that?
do you know Sassuolo? Do you know Bari, Brescia? Do you know them ones, bro? Napoli's not. They're
They're
newcomers,
real
bro.
little bros.
They're little bros.
Little bros, yeah.
No, but the thing, but what makes Maradona like it's under? I watched the Maradona film years ago when it came out in the cinema. What makes the Napoli story so, or let's say Maradona at Napoli, is such an underrated story because it's like man coming to like, you know, Wolves or Bournemouth, a top player, like the best in the like. Say Neymar comes to Bournemouth or whatever and starts winning league and European trophy. That's what it's like. Even though you're Neymar, even though you're Mbappe, whoever, the fact that you will take the whole club on your back and win.
But that's what I give McTominay respect for. Like they remember Maradona.
Yeah, they're gonna remember him.
They remember Kavicha.
him.
They're going to remember you, bro.
They're going to
They're
remember.
going to remember Scott
Yeah.
McTominay.
I like when I see that man are loved.
I like it.
Scott McTominay is loved.
But you know what?
At United it was 50-50.
But you know what though? Yes, loved is always he's definitely loved. But you have to go like Italy's. If there's one thing Italy will give you, it doesn't matter what team it is. When you go there and bleed for the shirt, bro, you're the man for life. You're the man for life. Like Daniel De Rossi, for example, he was no Totti, but my God, he was loved just as Totti is. He's nowhere near the tech of Totti.
But remember, that man used to run the world, you know.
Yeah.
Like, that thing's in their blood, man. I hear it.
It is. Right, let's get into the awards before we wrap things up. Let's start things off with the player of the season.
I mean, it is Salah, isn't it?
There's Mo Salah. Just give it to him.
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, like, come on. On Salah,
and by the way,
he tied the record.
He
tied the record.
Your opinion in terms of like, you know what? Like you can just give it's just your personal one. Do you know what I mean? Like it doesn't have to be, you know, we don't have to agree per se.
Wait, he tied what record?
Yeah, what record did he tie?
The most contributions to goals in a season.
Oh.
I think it's him, Shearer, and Cole.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, because I was gonna say, add to it. That
I think Cole's always in his stats, you know.
That 20 plus
Always,
assisting,
Adrian, always.
That assisting is cursed. No one's winning that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Someone should have broke it by now. Do you know what? I hear you.
The way Salah was trying everything to ensure he got those assists and didn't happen. It's cursed.
Bro, even yesterday.
The people that come close, yeah, they already hit 16, 17, 18 by December.
I will never forget when Peter lost his mind when Ozil.
Oh, my God.
Well, when it was like 16, and then Drew just did not help him for 6 months.
He was 16 in December and finished on 17 that year.
Something always happens, injuries, or just no one wants to score goals anymore, but something happens and it just never gets broken.
Yeah. Thierry Henry getting 20 assists for a centre forward is just a different conversation.
Yeah, player of the season. I mean, I'd say, in fact, when you say it's like personal, what are you saying? Because I think in fairness, it is Salah. Because like what we think about contributions to the team. Remove Salah from Liverpool, do they win the league? I don't think so.
Nope.
Yeah, it's Mohamed Salah. I don't like. What can you say?
Yeah, I didn't know if anybody had anybody else out there that they might think, you know what? Actually, this person was like, if you took them out of that team,
the arguments kind of are the reason why football is always going to be for the offensive players, because the argument you can make is that if Gravenberch isn't on job the first half of the season.
Do they get? Yeah, I heard that as well.
So to me, I just know that I am biased towards central midfielders, but I am even more biased towards the fact that goals win. They really do win you games. So yeah, I think it's just not. It's not a debate. Even though there's like one or two, like I think McAllister's been amazing this year. I think McAllister's been one of the best midfielders in the league this year, but he's not going to get the plaudits.
Even Van Dijk.
I'll be honest with you, Adrian. I'm not with you on that.
Nah, I'm not on you.
What?
No. Do you know what it is? I think.
Where is it?
I think you have an appreciation for Van Dijk that I think is not. It's not overstated. I think your rating of Van Dijk is actually quite measured. I think you thinking he's sick is valid. He's cold, but I've seen a lot of mistakes from him this year, man.
Mistakes.
Yeah,
I think
that December period was nasty.
I think there's been mistakes, and then things he's got away with.
I need to cast my mind back.
And then there's things he's got away with that it's like I don't put him at the same level as fighting for him to say that he should be playing season over Salah. That kind of vibe.
Liverpool conceded more goals than Arsenal.
No. But by the way, this is not me saying Van Dijk has had a bad season. I'm just saying,
he's not had a bad season.
Based on this conversation about players of the season, I think based on player of the season, I feel like I wouldn't put him on the same level of saying that. Oh,
Oscar, why are you laughing?
Well, Van Dijk is like I've seen him get away with so much stuff. I'm just kind of like,
it's been his second best season, but
I mean,
you think this has been his second best season?
Yeah.
I mean, you watch him closer than everyone else, so that's
2019 was his peak. But breaking lines as well. Like even the way he plays is just different now.
I think it's just because I want the games I've seen. That's like I feel like I have a thing about when players get away with things too many times in the season to feel like you're great, but I feel like if they had their eye on you more, certain things wouldn't have gone certain ways.
This goes back to Peter's point about VAR.
Yeah,
like
Van
Dijk has earned the corruption.
Yeah, I mean, he's earned a red card, I'd say.
Do you know what it is? That's the perfect way of saying it. He's earned it. He's earned leeway.
He's earned it.
He's earned the leeway.
And that's true. That's true greatness in the Prem, you know.
Oh God, yeah.
It sounds funny, but when you reach the level
a man
where referees are like a verge.
A man who can like elbow in the front and all this stuff and get away with it.
Bro.
Yeah, you've reached the level. The thing is, when I've watched Liverpool play games, I don't know, AD, what you think, but every time like there's a headed clearance, there's an interception, there's an aerial battle.
Yeah, it's him.
The guy wins them all.
Always him.
And I just think to myself, like, come on. Like obviously I watched them closely against Arsenal. The ball's in the air, Arsenal never win the header. Never.
Peter, do you remember that game? Do you remember that game at the Etihad where Trent was literally a traffic cone? When Doku just had his way with him. But every time the ball came into the box, what was happening?
Clearance, interception. It was like there were a series of games that I've seen where Liverpool have been playing.
Who, Van Dijk?
Yeah.
91, so he's going to be 34 in July. His birthday is July.
I don't know why I thought he was younger. I don't know
why do you know that?
No. Van Dijk's an uncle. Van Dijk's uncle. People understand.
I thought he was like 31.
Adrian loves Liverpool.
No, do you know what my superpower is? Like years players are born in. I feel like I'm quite good at that.
Fair enough.
He is, yeah.
Is that your what program is that? Is it Question Time where you got your subject?
It's specialty.
That's the thing. Some people Swedish agriculture.
Yeah, mastermind. Yeah.
Did you say something about Swedish agriculture?
Bro, Swedish agriculture, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing, bro.
Question, what would your speciality be if you was on Mastermind? What topic in the world are you picking?
Mine
Trains.
would be
Very simple.
England's major tournament games from 96 till now.
Jesus of
So
Nazareth.
if you're like England played in the quarterfinals of the World Cup 2002, who they play, who scored, I could pretty much tell you.
Damn.
Yeah. Growing up, I loved watching England in tournaments. You know,
You
I
did.
was a proper fiend for it, man. I was a fiend for it.
What was your Robin?
Trains, transport.
Oh,
I know
Are
that.
you a train spotter?
He is
Yeah, he knows his train, man. What about you?
It's always been me.
Or anyone else?
Me, it'll probably be rap producers.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why. I always research man who make instrumentals. I don't know why. Who made that beat though?
This one was like This is my one.
Track 4 on Illmatic.
Track 4 on Illmatic.
I'll say my one will be this lady on my shirt.
Lauren Hill.
No,
Is that Beyonce?
Yeah.
I can't read.
No, are you a Beyonce fan?
Yeah.
I know. Lola's a bee. She is in the beehive. She's in the upper echelons of that hive.
I don't fight
Yeah.
there. I don't fight there. I don't do things there.
Is the hate forced?
Huh?
Is the hate forced?
Depends on the context.
Hey.
Depends on the context. Depends on the context.
You're Beyonce's the female goat, though.
No, it depends on the context because
Nah, Beyonce's a goat.
it depends on the context because people will try to pretend like she can't sing.
Second to Michael
then I'll
Jackson,
fight.
in my opinion.
If someone tells me you can't sing, if she can't sing, then I'm arguing with you. If someone tries to, it's
Why
when
are you
people say, like,
arguing with someone that says Beyonce can't
because
sing?
it's factually incorrect.
No, but why are you arguing?
Because it's factually incorrect.
The Bible says don't argue with fools.
Who
I'm
said
not
that?
arguing with someone
I
that
didn't
says
read
It's
the Bible.
not even objective.
I didn't
Like,
read the Bible.
Beyonce can
That's
say.
not
What are you
ministry.
talking about?
That's not, I don't read the Bible. That's not ministry. So if I see stupidity, I'll come and talk about it.
Nah, man.
But like context, when I say like someone says that if she's best, people say that she's on MJ's level, I'm not fighting for that one because she's not. So you know what I mean? There's levels of what I'll go in to fight for. That
She's
one,
number
I'm
two,
not-
though.
That's
Number
it. She
two, though.
can't rap.
She can rap. Shut up, that. She's better than Bay rappers.
Okay, guys, the player of the season is Mohamed Salah. Okay.
I haven't listened to Lemonade, you know, because it was on that diesel thing. Oh, God.
Okay. Player of the year is
Jay-Z was
Mohamed
going mad. I ain't paying for that. Tidal was it?
I said Jay-Z was getting mad. Most people like young say, hey, I'm going mad.
Nah, he's getting too mad. What was the album on Tidal for how many years? I don't care if it's on Spotify now. But yeah, go on. Let's get out of it.
What's the next award?
Tidal's the GOAT, first of all. Young player of the season.
What's young? Because the Prem don't do nonsense.
Yeah,
No,
man.
we're making it, if you got to be like 22.
Under
and
21. Oh, yeah, 22,
below.
21. That is.
21 and below. I'm with that. 21 and below.
So we cannot include Ryan Gravenberch in this then.
No, guys, let's keep it a stat. He's 2002, so he's going to be 23 this year.
23.
So, we included him or not?
No, he's
No, guys, listen to this.
No, he's a big man.
He's 23 now.
Guys, this is his third league title with a third different team. He's not young no more. I'm sorry, man.
He's
Not
a
young.
big man.
Meanwhile, Lewis Kelly just played his first professional 1,000 minutes, and they're in the same fray.
You said third title in 3 different clubs. What, 3 different leagues?
Yeah, 3 different leagues. Holland, Bayern, Ajax, Bayern, Liverpool.
Wow,
fair
sensational.
enough.
Yeah, it has to be 21 and under. I agree. 21
Okay.
and under.
I'll go Lewis
Let's
Kelly.
go.
You're going Lewis
Is
Skelly.
it though?
You're saying name me someone who's better than him who's on the 21.
No, it's not like, no. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I'm saying, has he been there from the start? That's where my mind is going.
He's been there enough for me to say I can put him there as a young player.
Yeah, he was playing in September. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's there.
No. I'm not.
No,
Sorry.
I hear you. I'm saying he's playing enough.
My
for him to
mind's
say
going
that.
a bit. Mine's a bit fuzz. But
I
yeah,
can't
no,
think
it's
of
just like
anyone outside of MLS.
I can forget. I thought someone, but when we go around, because in fairness to Robin, like I feel like MLS is played, but it's not been like every. He's probably played like
I
50%.
feel like he came onto the scene later. But yeah, I don't know.
He's definitely playing more.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But
Actually,
yeah,
SW6's one is a shout.
Who's that?
Who's that?
I was thinking Hyson.
Yeah, Hoyson was my guy.
Him.
Superb defender.
I think he's been great.
Mm.
I do think he's been slightly overrated, but I think he's been very good.
Do you think
Yeah,
overrated?
I don't
I
see
think-
it, to be honest.
I think they were quiet about him until he did that celebration with the dog. Something about when he did that and he scored and he did the kind of like the nonchalant, I forgot what it's called.
The little
The thing he put his hand in his
the
shorts.
chill guy me.
And then, the chill guy thing. And then from then, I noticed an upturn in having people talk about him. I think he's been good, by the way, because you know me, Michael Jordan. So, Bournemouth, I watched the Boxing Day games. He has been very good. I'm just saying, I think he will have. But he's going to Real Madrid now, so he's got a better platform.
Yeah, Howson is a good shout. I think as well. I mean, the Skelly point. He's played 38 games in all comps. Lewis Skelly played 10 Champions League games. The guy's
How many
played.
Premier League games?
23 in the league.
23 in the
Prem
league.
was 22.
That's decent. That's decent.
That's
Sure.
good enough.
How do we feel about Morgan Rogers? I feel like
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
when people saw him last year, they were like, okay, cool. we kind of expected him to be good this year, but he's been.
Oh, man,
You know
was
what it is?
American,
You know
bro.
what it is? I don't know if it's rude or not. I thought he was like 25.
Yeah.
How old is he? That's what I'm asking.
Old.
He's
He looks old in the face.
Yeah, he's 2002 as well.
He gives me like
because he's same age group as Palmer, isn't it?
Palmer. Yeah, the girl.
Yeah.
I just thought he was older.
Bro, I think he's had a great season.
Oh yes, I like
Man,
him a lot. If you're
11
sending him, I'll take him in a heartbeat.
Let's see. I want to see what he's done this season. I mean, you know, what's he got? He got 8 goals this season. How many assists did he get? 10 assists. Bloody hell. 8 goals, 10 assists.
8 goals, 10 assists.
Was this the year of the box to box midfielders?
Yeah, there's a lot of midfielders who were moving crazy.
Thank God they're back. Honestly.
Actual box to box things, not
Honestly.
having to do like actual. I like
Honestly.
Even the way Rodgers takes the ball, like the little half turn where you don't even know what way he's gonna go, and then he's got strength, like you can't knock him off the ball. Then he's direct.
Partey, was it first or second game of the season? I was like, yo,
no, he's man. He's proper, man. He's proper.
The names are coming out now. We've got Livramento as an option as well.
Livermento's been brilliant. Livermento's been brilliant. And plus, well done because he's come back from an ACL as well, man. That could have finished him. Could have finished him.
Yeah, I would go. I would love to give it to Rodgers, but Lewis Skelly has just shown up and been like, yo, I'm here.
The thing that's impressive with him is that it's the Champions League performances, it's the Tottenham game, it's the City game. Like the guy did not shirk. You know what I mean? He's 18.
What I will say is, people were on.
Yeah, but that's the same with Rodgers. Rodgers scored in the France.
Yeah, but I think he's 22, he's 18. But even by that though, I think the point people were kind of on him because I think he was brilliant against all the other Champions League games. He had a bad game against PSG. No one can deny that. But I think what it shows of how good he's been this season. People waited because they were on him. Even when he had the red card before, people weren't on him like this.
Yeah, but it's not any way. He gave us moments.
No, because it's different. Because there's like
2 red cards in there.
No. But what I'm saying, no. The penalty was after, by the way. But what I'm saying is the level at which people went for him with a red card, because the West Ham one, people weren't really on it. They were like, he should have got fouled. You know what I mean? All that before the whole humble thing, people were kind of like bantering as opposed to. The PSG game was the time I saw everyone was he's been looking at him. They were on him from that and thinking, okay, cool. He's been too good in these games that they wait until the semi-final. For me, that's at 18. That's great. And you can talk about like he had the red card before, but the level on which they were on him for the PSG game versus the red card one was way different. And the thing is, people weren't even on him for that. They're on him because he did the percent of racing against Rich Harlan, which again makes me laugh. Because like, what does it affect you?
Yeah, but
did I understand as well?
To jump in the league at an Arsenal side that was essentially, quote unquote challenging, and to have so many of those moments that you've just mentioned where he was front and center for goals, top tier performances in big games, just moments. It has to go to Skelly for me.
And guys, bear in mind as well, he's out of position for crying out loud. He's playing that left back. So he's coming to the team, 18 years old, out of position, defensively resolute, amazing sort of ball progression, composure through the roof, and he's got balls.
Yeah, and I think what is
are we saying Saka regen then? Is what we're hearing.
They're very different players. They're very different players.
Saka joined us in 2020, mate. You know what I mean? Like, it's
not even just that. It's just like they're just very different players. I think Skelly translated his game exactly the same. Like the whole run that he does in the Prem and in the other games, he did exactly like that in the academy games.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah, he does that run that you can't even stop him. Like, he just picks it up and gone. Yeah. Snot. Okay. Oh, by the way, and his strength. I've seen, man. Bro, I saw Mateta bounced off him. I said, what?
He's not 18. But yeah, we'll move on from that.
Yeah, it's got to be Lewis.
Lewis Skelly is our young player of the season. Goal of the season? Do we have one? This is going to take forever. I don't know if you have seen any goals that you remember.
Mitoma.
Got a couple good ones.
Which one? Which Mitoma one, Robin?
Chelsea.
Which one? I think it's the Chelsea one. Yeah, that's what I'm going for.
Oh, the touch. You mean the over the top and the caress?
Touch over the crest. Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, that was a very good goal. Yeah,
that was a sensational goal. That was a sensational goal. That was the one at Brighton at Brighton, wasn't it? Yeah, that was a good finish.
Yep.
I'm thinking like 3 goals, like all of McAllister's bangers, and Marmouche.
Oh, yes, Marmouche. Oh my gosh. He
when
hit
you
that,
said,
and that went over and in, and like it shouldn't have gone in, but it went in. That's how I felt about it.
that was so a bang on, Robin. That's exactly how I felt about it.
Yeah.
Ernest, you said every goal that McAllister scores, every banger.
All his bangers.
Mate, Duran was another one.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Guys, my goal of the week is Jonathan Duran. Oh my gosh, what was the rocket that he hit? Was it Everton?
Rocket, I think it was Everton.
Yeah, Pickford got it. Pickford got it.
He smashed it. That's my favorite goal of the week.
I kind of miss him though. He's like off the bench. And just
No, I
goes.
forgot about him. I genuinely forgot
Fun
about him until
Oh,
people
fun
mentioned
time.
his name.
No, Ernest literally said every banger that McAllister scored, the first thought was, what about them bangers from Duran? I thought the minute you said that, it brought that memory back. Flip me, man. Yeah, different Lev.
I've got two.
No, we've got choices.
I think it's just gonna have to be individual. We can't agree. Obviously, it's got to be individuals.
When you mentioned Marmoush, I said, "Oh my gosh, wow!"
Marmoush was
so late in the season.
Because it's one of those goals.
This week. It was this week. That's how crazy it is. Like the last week of the season.
Yeah. It's difficult, isn't it? Because you get recency bias, so you sort of like, is it?
Yeah, but I can think of goals.
James Justin.
Are you not taking a piss? Do you see McAllister versus Fulham? Oh,
that's last. Wait, Fulham.
What about the Tottenham one? Wasn't the Tottenham one better?
Oh yeah, Fulham was good actually. Fulham away.
Fulham.
Oh, don't tell me this is last season.
I'm talking about the rocket at Anfield. The Anfield's last season.
There's a rocket he scored. Yeah.
Do you know what it is? I can't remember a lot of goals. I can remember.
But he scored like Cleveland Court this season, though.
I can remember the.
Yeah, it was last season.
I will give it to Jonathan Duran because that actually I remember sitting down in the couch and jumping like quite high.
So, I want to know who's
that Duran goal was a flipping joke.
Oh my god, no, the Ernest, that McAllister one, yes, last season unfortunately, but my god, I just watched it now. It's a joke.
What's this John Duran? John Duran versus who?
Everton.
Everton at home was just rocket launcher. Rocket launcher.
It was rocket launcher.
Honestly, mate, it was a madness in East Anglia, bro. It was so bad. The 3-2 win, I think it was. That they had.
This goal was 8 months ago.
I think it was at the start of the season. I think it was the second game of the season.
Duran's been good for like 6, bearing in mind.
Who did you not watch Match of the Day? I haven't watched Match of the Day in like 3 years.
I haven't watched it all season.
Not Match of the Day, but I watched the highlights
all season.
Pinchel would score some rude goals against Tottenham. But yeah,
Harry Wilson.
But yeah, no, my vote goes to Mr. Duran. John Duran is my vote.
I can't remember much, so I'll go whatever the majority is.
Duran was just a screamer from nowhere, man. It was just like, what are you doing? And I think it was like, Villa were losing like 2-0 or 2-1 or whatever.
Yeah, because that's if Villa were drawing or losing, they just
Villa were 2-0 down, and then Wilson scored twice.
That's how some Everton were just throwing away leads.
Even Martinez was like, "Oh my god,
that goal was mad."
So Martinez had tears in his eyes.
I'm not gonna lie to you, yeah. I'm biased towards that Marmoush goal, you know.
I hear it.
The Marmoush goal was insane.
The dip.
Yeah, it should have gone in.
The dip on that goal was like the burger sauce at Morley's. Brother, that dip was crazy. Because the curve shouldn't be that perfect.
No, you're right.
That was Oxford math set flipping.
That's trigonometry.
Is it a compass? Is that what it's called?
Protractor.
The protractor. Of course, Adrian knows what it is.
I don't know.
You sold it to me, man.
It could be a compass because you can draw it.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Yeah, I'll be the odd one out, and Duran can win it. I'm going Marmoush. That goes nasty.
That's fair, man. That's fair.
It was wrong.
Well, it's 2-2 at the moment. We're still waiting for Adrian.
It's 2-2.
Yeah, because I said Duran. No, Adrian's not said anything, and neither has Lola. Lola said just go for the majority. Only me and Oscar said Duran.
Now you might remember James Justin at the Emirates.
That was a banger.
Whoa.
That was a banger.
How did he pull that off?
Yeah, how he pulled it off, I don't know.
Oh, God.
How he pulled it off, I don't know.
I like to actually remember that.
Hey,
as well.
you know what I didn't consider? Ahmad.
Against?
Which one?
Ahmad against City.
Yeah, we'll have to say which one.
No,
The City one was nasty.
It's not aesthetically. It's not the best.
No, it's the control.
The control was dirty.
If I want to add a sprinkle, I'll add Ethan Ramirez's one for the goal against City in the 5-1.
Oh, we like that.
Ethan Ramirez's one against.
It was like out the box, out the corner. It was like literally out the corner on the side, out the box. He just like hit it straight in. It's kind of like usual.
If we could, speaking of Arsenal, if we could, I would have included the Rice.
The free kick.
Bro,
The free kick.
I left that alone. It was Champions League. I left that alone, but that,
unfortunately, that's his Europe.
League.
So no.
Robin, there's been so many weeks. You not try to slip in the Champions League goal.
No.
Champions League player of the week.
I am prime. I am. You know what is, Ernest? I agree with you. I am number one suspect for Europe.
None of you guys when you're just as corrupt. You're just as corrupt.
Do you know what happens? Do you know what happens every week when I say, "Oh, let's think of Europe"? Nah, it's the Premier League only. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm just going by what we do on the podcast.
Marmouche is the goal of the season. We're moving on. Manager of the season.
Manager of the season.
Glasner.
No.
That's a great shout.
Wait, why is it
That's a great shout.
No,
It's a fantastic shout.
no, because I am not going to forget the first half of the season. So that's on my
You have to vote for him.
But he didn't have a bad first half. He had a bad
games.
And you don't have to vote for him.
I think if we're talking about like, are we keeping it strictly league or are we including the cup competitions as well?
Fine.
I think you have to include the cups. I think you have to include the cups.
If we're including cups, I'm going big Ange Postecoglou.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah? I'm not gonna lie to you. It has to be one guy and it's Slot.
I mean, yeah.
All right.
Trying to put something else different in there.
It has to be Slot. There's a certain family that was saying that, oh man, look at the team that Slot had. And I'm like, brother, what is going
honestly,
on?
he proved me wrong, so therefore I'm going to give him a Slot.
If people are going to sit here in May and pretend like they thought Slot was going to win the league,
Oh, hell no.
Never.
yeah, that's not fair.
I did not at all.
I've got to mention.
There's not a single person, bar some, and I'm going to say some, because it wasn't all, some Liverpool fans who thought it was going to win the league. No one thought, bar like a handful of Liverpool fans. So no one
They were calling Adrian A delusional by like November. That's when I knew. Oh, it could definitely happen. Do you know what I mean?
Well, you know what I forgot to mention about Liverpool?
Crazy like a fox.
You know, Liverpool have had the best PR week of all time.
Until today.
All time. Until today.
Oh, come on, man.
No, let me tell you why.
That's
actually very bad.
That's
actually very bad. I'm walking to the screen as we speak. That's terrible.
That's not even a joke.
This is what Damn Chelsea is about. This is what Damn Chelsea is about. This is what you do. This is what you guys in do, yeah? Okay.
Focus.
That's right. It's me.
Liverpool have had the greatest PR run this week because where Jurgen Klopp came from this week
He said
with the Trent
He told the man them off. He told him off and said, "Settle down."
The man came. He was at a Liverpool. First of all, he was at a Liverpool Foundation, dude. God knows what he was doing there. And the second thing is, Sky Sports have coverage on this event, on a private event, charity event, foundation event. And then, what does Arne Slot do? Off the bench, brings the man on. Was there a boo in sight? There was not one boo in sight.
Hey, Slot is a criminal, you know,
guys. No,
yeah, he's a criminal. He's a big criminal.
Oscar,
my gaffer, totalitarian. If you ain't in line, get to step in.
Look at this guy. If you ain't in line, get to step in.
Discipline,
Klopp came with the belt and said, "If any of you does touch my boy, y'all gonna get it."
Yeah, you're attacking me, still.
Bro, they couldn't.
I need to clip that thing he said. He said, "I'm not going to tell you, whether it's right or wrong.
Right,
but I'm going to tell you, you're wrong.
You're wrong. I'm not going to tell you how to feel, but I'm going to tell you that you're wrong."
And you know what? It's good. It's good. They said, Dad said we should shut up. We shut up. Let the boy cry and appreciate him so he can leave in peace.
And he literally got applauded on. Do you know how
who deserves a slap as well? Jamie Carragher was on. Stop telling Liverpool fans how to feel. Jurgen Klopp just told you how to feel. You switched up.
He said you're wrong, guys. No, I've never seen. Look, you guys are not understanding. I've never seen a PR machine like it. Slot made the call to Klopp. Said, "My guy, you're the only one that can save this now." He has. Klopp has got.
By the way, Pete,
let's in the palm of his hands, bro. Where man's gone away for a year, had swayed for a year, and he's come back with a trench shirt. I don't know why there's a trench shirt in his hand. I don't know what's going on in his mind as well. And he said, "I was there." I was there. Nah.
He said when he was 18 and his first free kick. I was like, right. He was drawing back his memories.
No, because Oscar, I remember that game.
Wow.
I remember that game. They were playing Hoffenheim, and I'm like, they were playing Hoffenheim in like August.
That qualification.
And Trent, the guy had a long surname at the back of his shirt.
Yeah.
And the brother scores a free kick. He had this is Trent with no facial hair.
No drip.
None whatsoever. And
this is before Fashion Week.
No muscles. No vests. No things.
Literally the week before the final game, and then they bring him on. Not one boo in Anfield.
I think. Do you know what it is? I think.
They're a disgrace.
Lola. It was on Sky Sports. How can Sky Sports have the footage? What were they doing there?
Nah. Do you know what it is? I think Slot realized.
At a charity event.
I think Slot realized I may have let this kind of go a little too far. I need help bringing it back in. I think he realized
Liverpool fans are a disgrace.
Slot made the call, man. Slot made the call, man. Slot said, "Yo, Klopp, only you can patch this."
It's fun though, but you know what? I appreciate it for him because it's like let the boy celebrate the league and his last time at Liverpool. Let him enjoy it. Had photos, there's tears. Let him enjoy that. No booing, even alone.
Is it worse that they didn't boo him the second time?
No, I mean no. It's what they should have done in the first place.
I'm not gonna lie. They're all punks still. Yeah, like keep the same energy, bro. If you hate him, innit? Don't flip flop. Don't be flip flopping.
Ernest, last week they said that he was a traitor. He was a traitor to the club.
Listen.
He was a traitor to Liverpool.
I mean, that's still
I want
true.
you guys to understand something, yeah. Adrian Anderson is my guy. That's my guy. Yeah. When my nan passed, Adrian came to the shop for a trim just to see how I was doing.
Oh man!
So this ain't serious. But you see his fan base? Nah. including him. I'm not removing him from
I'm about to say you need to include him as well. You need to include him.
Adrian said in the group chat, and you lot ain't. I'm not the only one who's talked about this. Adrian said if Trent comes to L4, he's got to keep his chain tucked. This is gonna be beach. It's gonna be.
Yeah. No.
Could you imagine robbing Trent in Liverpool, bro? Could you imagine robbing Trent in Liverpool?
Oh, but could you imagine Adrian catching Trent slipping?
I'm not doing anything.
Adrian's from London.
Yeah, I won't.
Also,
right.
Can we talk about the fact? Can we talk just before we quickly? Why is Arne Slot and the whole Liverpool team in Dubai before a game? What?
Bro?
Enjoyment.
Bro.
And they've won. Why should they be here?
The day
after they were on the beach.
If I'm an Arsenal fan, that will piss me off.
But why? They beat us how long ago? Why should they be here?
Why should they be here? The same way you're talking about Emery, your fan base was a disgrace this year.
I'm not denying that though.
Your fan base was an absolute disgrace this year. The absolute crap, the bin juice that non-Arsenal fans have had to endure from your fan base this season, yeah? No, honestly, you guys have been talking absolute S all season. All season. We've had to listen to Arsenal fans talk about nah, this Liverpool team. I'm not even. I hate Liverpool. I don't even like them. I've had to defend Liverpool all season because men are out here talking like, what? You lot think you're camouflage? Or you think we can't see you?
Yeah.
I've heard takes. I have heard takes this year.
What's the hottest one? What's the hottest one?
Adrian. Adrian, where do I start?
Give us a hot one. Give us a hot one.
Where do I start? They were talking about if it's not City, then who?
Okay, when was that said though? When was that said?
They said we would rather chase Liverpool, who have won the league in the last 5 years, to chase City.
Okay,
I was finding that quite hard, you know. I was finding that quite hard.
Sorry, Adrian, deep it. Out of the two teams that are probably
no, we're not doing this. No.
You spoke.
We're not doing this, Lola.
Let me speak then, because you went after it. So let me open up. Of the two teams who've won the league in the past how many years? It's City and Liverpool. Who's won it more?
We're not doing this, Lola.
Who's won it more?
We're not doing this.
I'll answer it for you. City won it more.
No. But we're not doing this.
No, you don't have to do it. But I'm doing it for you.
No, we're not doing
because
this.
Like if there's two teams who've been it's been City and Liverpool. So
we're not doing this.
Who am I going to fear more? The one who's won it once, or the one who's won it 5 times in a row?
That famous video of the Honourable Louis Farrakhan talking to the white brother about corruption in Africa? Man said, is Nigeria the most corrupt nation on earth? Louis Farrakhan said, he said, what is the most corrupt nation in the world? He said, I'm living in it. Said, I'm living in it, yeah. And then he said, you as a white man can't talk about corruption at all. Man said, in fact, you should be quiet.
No. I'm not going to because
that's what Arsenal fans should be.
No, because you're bringing it up.
No.
That question made sense.
Because I'm so sorry. A team who's not won this league since 2004, when Lloyd Banks was pedaling on fire through the streets of North London on top of the pops. You can't talk about a team that has been doing this thing for the last 5 years. 90 points.
Why
and
not?
You ain't touched 90 cents.
Why not?
You've not touched 90.
Why not?
Arsenal fans, you should be quiet.
Not, but why not?
You should be quiet.
No, you shouldn't, because the fact of the matter is, everyone and their mum has been talking about how Arsenal.
My stance from eternity to now is Arsenal fans should shut their mouths until the league titles won.
That's true.
That's not how that works.
I don't think you man remember what Peter used to do to David on this podcast pre-season.
Do you know why it doesn't work though? Do you know why it doesn't work? Do you know why it doesn't work though? But do you know why it doesn't work though? But it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Until Adrian, what's the rule? Until
why doesn't it work? Because until everyone knows. No. You know why?
Fireworks. I need to do pyrotechnics.
No, because you know every year on Twitter, yeah. There's the banner for the team that finished second. Arsenal Premier League good. It's somewhere in the shed at the Emirates.
And Arsenal fans, Arsenal fans can hold so many things. Arsenal fans can hold cold. No, because I'm not hearing it. Because I'm not hearing it.
That's fine. Until we see,
and I heard you say that. So let me say what I'm saying. Because the fact of the matter is,
let's talk.
No, because that's what I'm saying. You're showing me arms, but until everyone else stops talking about Arsenal bottled this league, Arsenal are in the title race, Arsenal not in the title race. Why should Arsenal fans not talk about being in a title race and saying that we can win the league? If everyone and their mum keeps talking about how they failed this season to win the league, they're meant to be in the league. Everyone, you talk about pundits and everyone who will put Arsenal and saying they should win the league. So why should the Arsenal fans not say we can win this league? We should win this league. What's the difference?
Because you lot do too much.
You do.
Because you lot do too much.
And you're aware.
No. But here's the point.
That's what I'm saying, Oscar.
Again, but you are letting me talk.
She doesn't know what we're talking about.
No. But you're not hearing my point. I haven't said there's Arsenal fans who aren't insane. I'm not talking about that point. There are many Arsenal fans.
The majority of the fan base is insane.
Again, but you're doing it again. I am not denying the insanity that is in Arsenal Football Club. My point isn't about that. It's basically, you can't say Arsenal fans can't talk about winning the league if all you man do is say Arsenal fans should be winning the league. You can't have it both. Either don't talk about Arsenal at all, or leave it alone.
I've not said Arsenal should be winning the league.
Like you said, the way you say it's not only me talking about Arsenal fans. I can talk about everyone. I've seen.
But that's irrelevant.
Well, let's move on
isn't.
from now. Let's move on.
It isn't. You can't say Arsenal
on.
fans can't do one thing and then give us the same energy as someone who should be doing it. Doesn't work.
Arne Slot is the
Doesn't
manager
work.
of the season.
I wanted that already.
What about Oli Glasner? What about Eddie Howe?
They said no cup. I do Howe for what? They said no cup.
Huh?
Eddie Howe didn't. No for Eddie Howe.
He won a couple, got Champions League football. I
don't care.
I can't lie.
It's a solid comment.
I don't care. Glass is better.
No, listen, Slot is the manager of the year. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Slot.
Winning the title.
And you know what it is, Pete? He's come from a league that we cast Ten Hag for, you know.
That's the thing about Ten Hag, though. That should take
No. Because I don't think Van Nistelrooy is doing what Slot does.
Okay.
No, absolutely not.
I don't think he is.
Like
Slot, I think Slot is the guy.
Listen.
He didn't win the league in his own season, in his own league.
Slot is the exception to the rule, not the rule.
Eric, I know you love your boys. I see that you've signed for Bayer Leverkusen.
Robin,
Can't take your
the car
man.
boot sale is on.
Yeah, we're ready. You want to take your man then and build your team? We're ready.
Hey, Robin's gonna open the boot, and the Anthony's gonna pop out. He's gonna say, "Hey, for you, my friends."
What?
Half price.
If Ten Hag has chest, he gets the guys he brought to Man United to prove that they're actually good.
Guys, Arne Slot's the manager of the season, team of the season.
Oh, I thought we were going to do worst manager.
Oh, do you want to do worst? Okay.
Hey, Oscar's a bad guy, you know.
Manager.
I'm stuck between two dudes. Well,
Look, I've got one current employee of Manchester United and one legend of Manchester United.
No, I was gonna say. I think Nistelrooy should be in there.
Oh,
I think Nistelrooy should be in there.
I forgot. Was he still? Did he just get fired from Leicester? Or was he there the entire time?
No, he's still there. He
Is he
shook
still there?
hands yesterday.
Is he still there?
He shook hands yesterday.
He's still there.
Yeah,
he's still there. I was going to say the Southampton system is up there as well.
That's a good one.
I call it the system because every single manager that was there, the system of Southampton.
You know what, guys? No,
I can't go over 22 losses, man. I just can't get over 22 losses.
It's 10:43. We need to cut the BS. Amorim is the worst manager of the season for the simple fact that he came here. What month was it that he came?
November.
Wasn't it? November. You know what's funny? November. A manager that's been in charge from November to now. Maybe he shouldn't even be judged necessarily as such. But because he's been so deplorable and god awful in the league, in the cups, in the Europa League. He's the worst manager in the league.
He lost the same amount of games in less time in the season than Ten Hag.
God, yeah.
Ten Hag lost 14 in a full season.
People like David
14 in 6 months.
People like David Moyes and Victor Pereira are getting W's, more wins than Ruben Amorim.
We've still not won 2 games in a row.
And you end the season without winning 2 games in a row, guys. The Manchester United are the worst. Ruben Amorim is by a country mile the worst manager of the season.
Yeah.
What about Big Ange though?
He saved himself with that win, annoyingly.
He saved himself with the Europa League.
He saved himself.
Yeah,
big time.
No, Pete, I'll be honest. I'll be honest. I have to object. You know,
I thought it's league only first.
If it's league only, I'm going.
If it's league only, then Ange has the biggest shout as well.
No, do you know what it is? Yeah, I have to go Ange.
Thing is,
21 L's is
21
crazy.
22. They lost yesterday.
If we're doing only league, is Ange. That's disgusting.
No, but you know what? You know, Lolo. You know why it's also not just. This is his second season.
It's even true. You've been there for 2 years.
Yeah,
this is second season.
And he spent.
He had a couple of injuries.
I'm happy to say this season. You know how the Golden Glove was shared this year. I'm happy to share.
Yeah, we're happy to share. We can share.
And Postecoglou and Ruben Amorim.
Do you know why I'm gonna fight for Ange?
No, you can't.
Because in September he said I always win things in my second
but you know what it is?
He's a gangster. He's a
gangster.
No, do you know what it is? That quote is iconic and will live forever. But the fact of the matter is, I don't care if you prioritized the Europa League. No amount of priorities drops you from being 17th. I'm not hearing it.
The thing is, though, you see, The reason I think because I have more expectation of Man United, I get that Tottenham had a deplorable season, but like if Tottenham, like I know we've got used to Tottenham being in the top 8 and whatever else, being in Europe, blah blah blah. Man United, blood. You like this is Manchester United. If I go and tell somebody about Manchester United, and I, if I tell my wife, right, Manchester United finished 15th in a 20-team Premier League season.
What are you talking about?
What are we talking about?
Everyone thinks of Man United who aren't football fans. They think of Man United.
Yeah.
We watched the Europa League final, right, and it was the worst 90 minutes of football I've probably seen in a long time. Especially the fact it was a final. They both can share it, in my opinion. But Ruben Amorim has been an utter disgrace with Manchester United. Utter. Because Ten Hag, we know, is finishing higher. We know that, than 15th place. And even though, like Ernest said, I think you said, 14 L's last year. So it's not even like, double-figure L's are not uncommon.
Those things matter to me than where you finish.
The thing
is, how many L's
Spurs got 22 L's. That is insane. Sorry, that is insane.
Yeah, 22 L's. Listen, I'm happy for them to share it. This year.
And wait, randomly, because anyone check, have they still got a positive goal difference?
Tottenham Hotspur have ended
minus one. I think it's plus minus one. Yeah.
Minus one.
They just got in this on the last day of the season.
They considered negative 3.
Because they got pumped by Brighton at home 4-1. The point, did you know the 4th goal for Brighton, the Tottenham fans cheered the goal?
Them man are drunk. Them man are drunk. And they're like,
Tottenham didn't get 40 points this season, guys.
I hear that.
That's disgraceful. Sorry.
I hear that.
But it literally took us 38 games to get 42 points.
No, it is.
I'm not fighting for Man United here, yeah? But it's 22 L's is crazy.
And let me ask you a question. Quick question. Do you believe Tottenham are going to actually invest properly next season? Like,
Champions League money.
Yeah. No, properly is
money. Yeah.
No, because what I'm saying is from the pattern of seeing from Ange and how this is going. I know they won the Europa League, but how much better are they going to be next season when they've now got Champions League?
I don't think this team is the 17th best team in the league.
It's not.
Bro, it's not.
No, it's not.
The 5th best. I think it's a sick team.
It's not. But it's whether or not I believe Ange's sense. Because he only just did it in this final about how he said
he's a crackhead. He's definitely a crackhead.
That's what it is.
Last year.
No, I hear that. I hear that, but people were onto him last season as well. And I get that he won this, but I'm saying this is the first game this season, in my opinion. I don't know if I haven't watched all the Spurs games where I've seen Spurs actually come to a game with a plan to try and win a game. So what I'm saying is he going to go back to norm next season, or is he actually going to realize,
I don't think he's going back to norm. I think he's going to go back.
Should have been a job.
That's what I'm saying.
He went back yesterday.
Look at Nat's earlier comment. 38 points in 38 games is diabolical.
A point a game.
That's 38 draws.
That is insane.
Them man share. I'm sorry, they both share.
They can hold it. They can both hold it.
They can both hold. You know, like picture. You know what I mean? Holding the thing together like this. They can both hold it like that.
That's what I said. I'll stuck it between the both of them because it's like equally as bad.
Those kids, those siblings who have to wear the shirt to prove that they love each other. They can both be in that.
Yeah.
Hideous twins. Awful twins.
Ange Postecoglou and Ruben Amorim, you are disgusting this year.
That's a Ruben Postecoglou.
Perfect name. Perfect name.
Title, that's the title. That's the title of the podcast.
Yeah, that's the title of the podcast. Team of the season.
It's Liverpool.
Liverpool.
If we all agree Liverpool, can we have a number 2? Can we have a number 2?
Yeah.
Really could have
flavor. Just for flavor.
It really could have been Forest.
It could have been Forest.
It really could have been Forest. But
it could have been Forest. But my God.
Wait, question. If Forest season is reversed, i.e. they start horribly and then they go on a crazy run, are we more likely to put them as that second?
Because they fought for it and they climbed up.
But here's the issue, Adrian. That didn't happen. So no.
No, the issue with Forest is it's not bottles, not even the words. I don't know what.
Let's keep it a buck. It's Newcastle as number 2 that I've done.
No, do you know what? I don't agree. Shall I tell you what? I just, with AD's questions, you know what I've just done? I've just gone and looked at the Premier League table, and I'm just scrolling just to look what's unusual. Forest 7th is unusual. Like this is actually mad.
But it is.
Bear in mind,
They doubled their point total from last season.
And the thing is, I agree with everything everyone's saying. And a normal thing, if it was like a balanced season, as if they were here, then they were, I'd hear it. But you always say you can't remove context from the situation.
Yeah, it's the manner.
You can't, the way in which and it's like you said, you mentioned it earlier. They could have locked up Champions League 2-3 games ago, and they bottled every single game.
People said Arsenal need to look over their backs.
And it's not even harsh. They bottled. It wasn't even not even being like they bottled every single game.
Is it what Baraka's saying? Is it an overachievement?
By a country mile.
Yeah, if you just look at it purely and where they finished, 100%. But we can't do that.
Because context.
They've got European football, to be fair.
No, because I don't know if I always agree with the statement that history won't remember who finished where. I think we'll remember that Tottenham and United finished where they finished. I also think we're going to remember Forest season.
Let's have it right. I'm not saying they're a bad season or they're shit. They finished 7th. Like you can't.
No. I'm saying to your point though. Like, I think we're gonna remember the context.
Yeah, because like, I think Adrian or Robin just said it. Everyone was talking about. Oh, could Forest finish 2nd? They're on Arsenal's back, and this is not me praising Arsenal, by the way. We're rubbish. My point is that's what they were doing. They were there. I think they even were 2nd for a minute.
Because they my first antenna was they beat Liverpool when Liverpool were on a good run of form at Anfield.
Yeah, so it's like
the only team to do it.
The only team, yeah.
Like, I could praise them for where they finished because it is, like I said, it is still Forest, but it's like context of the season. I can't give them team of the season for the manner in which they ended it.
Yeah.
So who do you give it
to? So if you look on paper, they qualified for the Conference League and they finished 7th. It's a good season.
My second team after Liverpool was Crystal Palace.
Yeah, I was going to go Palace. I was personally going to go Palace.
Crystal Palace are going to play in the Community Shield
and in
the Europa League. Guys.
Listen, I told you. I said I cannot wait for Besiktas and co to come to Croydon. I'm all for it. I am ready.
Guys.
Would you man say that Palace had a better season than Forest? It's just simply.
I would say so.
If we include an FA Cup, yes.
I would say I could hear Newcastle being 2nd, by the way.
Oscar, you're muted.
Oscar is muted.
I can hear Newcastle being second, like the second best team, by the way. I'm being a hater because I don't particularly like them, but I can definitely hear that. They finished Champions League and they won a
Carabao Cup and 5th.
Yeah, they won the Carabao Cup and
that's what I said. That's what I'm personally saying. Newcastle.
Yeah, I can hear Newcastle. I'm being a hater, so I'm not going to pick them. But you guys can.
But look, if we're talking about context, how many games in the last 5 did Newcastle win? Newcastle did everything they could to put on top 4.
They only won 2 and 6.
I agree, but also I think that you like it or not, they did get Champions League. So it's one of those ones where they tried to not get it, but they did get it.
But the thing is,
Newcastle did like I'm not gonna say that I was impressed with the football, but I think I was impressed with their ability to. They beat a lot of teams along the way, you know. I know you're supposed to do that, but Newcastle dominated teams, and they beat them. They went to the Emirates, and bar a mistake from the guy tracking Erdegaard and Rice.
Right.
That game is a very different game. At the end, I think it's 0-0 at the very least. Do you know what I mean? Newcastle were impressive result-wise, not football-wise. Do you know what I mean? They were impressive this season. So I can see why someone could say, I'm giving it to them over Palace.
Let's agree. Let's agree.
Palace should not be winning trophies. Man, talking about Tottenham. Crystal Palace should not be winning trophies.
The first trophy
their league form was meh.
That's what I'm saying.
Their league form is what their league form always is. They finished about that way they always do.
Exactly.
I mean, it was the best ever finish this year.
Who's had a better season, Newcastle or Palace?
Oh, you probably say Newcastle.
Newcastle.
I think Newcastle is the team of the season, second team of the season.
Yeah.
I hear you on Palace.
Agreed.
Palace achieved beyond measure, but Newcastle bagged the trophy.
I just think, just like you guys said about the money earlier, Newcastle should be flirting with this reality more than Crystal Palace should.
Palace in the Europa League, phenomenal.
Palace
No,
are
man, them-
playing
man, them-
in Europa League.
I'm gonna be real, and I'm struggling with the Forest thing, man. They doubled their points tally from last season.
I know.
FA Cup semi-finalist, and 4 points off of Newcastle. Don't get me wrong, I understand they bottled it, they absolutely did. But let's just look at it in a cold light of day. Nottingham Forest are playing European football next season. This is a team that got 34 points last season. They shouldn't even be in the league, and they got a top 7 finish.
Oh, 100%.
Okay,
Kudos.
Vote quickly.
I'm going Forest.
Newcastle.
I'm gonna say one more thing. The variable I'm looking at is who has more money. Forest, Newcastle are the money teams. Palace is not. That's why I'm voting Palace.
I'm gonna go Forest.
Yeah. I'm going Palace.
Go Forest.
So did Forest win the majority?
Yeah, Forest.
Yeah. After all that, not that guy of the year. Before we wrap up,
My man,
take a pick.
The car today.
The guy that drove the car today. 53-year-old man has been arrested.
Yeah. That's crazy. What happened?
Flog him in the car,
Do
man.
you know who's not that guy of the year?
Mental.
Raheem Sterling.
We see each other. No, because I was against this move the second I had an inkling he was coming, and I said that nonsense video about how you're gonna see the real me. We saw it. Your ass, go away.
The guy said the fans were singing. If we're what did we say? We're all on the pitch. We're all on the pitch. We're on the pitch. If Sterling scores, we're all on the pitch. Literally.
Wow.
They sang that.
I think he scored 1 goal this entire season. It was in the League Cup against Oxford.
Yeah. What? One?
It was. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was 1. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's 1.
He missed the penalty, right? He didn't miss the penalty against.
Hey, you know what? Shout out to Sterling, man.
Great agent.
He's still getting paid by Chelsea. He's still on their book.
No,
so,
the guy is collecting obscene amounts of cash.
He's making bank.
I've got a side note that guy. I don't know if he's not the guy of the year, but I did see these posts from. This adds to my gender and your gender against certain Arsenal fans. There was a tweet where one fan said they didn't want Arsenal women to win the Champions League because they're an Arteta fan. That was the reason. They didn't want. They actively said, "Oh, I didn't want the women to win the Champions League, because it undermines Arteta." I said, "You people are tapped." No, but this is why when people ask me what on my block list, a good chunk, I want to say like 30-40% is purely Arsenal fans.
Yeah.
Delusional fan base.
That's insane.
They love Arteta, not Arsenal.
Yeah,
they love Arteta.
You didn't want the women to win a Champions League because it might make Arteta look bad.
But you know what? Yeah, there's too many tacticals in your fan base who like the pseudoscience of football rather than enjoying the actual game.
Yeah.
So I remember, and I first saw it with Kai Havertz. I was amazed. I was like, did he pay them? Because all of them seem to be backing him.
They are getting
in ways that a player shouldn't be backed.
They are getting paid, and I find it because like the context that I hear about people when they kind of try to make sense of certain things that Arteta does or what Havertz does or some of it, I was like, you guys, you're either getting paid or you're just monumentally tapped because I don't understand this at all.
Right, Arsenal fans are the reason I know so much football terminology that means nothing. Like I now know.
Yes. Wait, hold on. Do you know the one that pissed me off the most?
Rest defense. I know what zone of the pitch Havertz is meant to occupy.
No, Oscar.
Mind game.
Made my head hot.
Mind game.
Made my head hot. I said, you've lost it. You actually lost it now. Because before, when it was Wenger, we were talking about, because Arsenal have always had like tactical type fans, but with Wenger, it made sense. You know, when they talked about it in a technical sense, it kind of made it. When Arteta came in, it was like they were trying to go the next level of like, now we can figure out exactly what he's doing by the cubic square meters. I said, you people are tapped, go away.
Right, guys.
Ilto is crazy.
Who is the final decision before we close this podcast? We need to end.
I'm so sorry. If we have to take everything into the context of the whole, the club formerly known as Newton Heath.
Yeah, I think so.
has. I'm taking everything into context, and I'm including Europe. I'm including League Cups. I'm including FA Cups. I'm including the whole shebang. We should have fired a manager that we didn't halfway through the season. We employed another manager that plays another system that none of our players can play to. We still employ certain players that have been on the books that have not played in over a year and a half, gusting 2 years. It is the 27th of May, 2025, and only 3 players have been let go when the rest of the team should have been. I am so sorry. Manchester United, bar the relegation season of our entire history, this is the worst season ever. And they are not that guy of the year.
The relegation might not be that bad, you know.
No, it's not
as bad as this.
Has Man United only been relegated once?
Only once.
Contextually, this year is horrific.
It is. It is.
So this is post-Fergie. This is post-Fergie.
Right, guys. We're going to wrap this one
All
up.
the work that he did for 26 years.
Next week is the Champions League finale.
Hey,
Right.
Peter's been trying to go to bed
Oh
for
my
time.
God. Who's talking?
Robin, before we get to that,
Next week, it's going to be the UEFA Conference League final, as well as the Champions League final, as well as reviewing our predictions at the start of the season. Horrific scenes. Until next time, we'll see you on Monday, 8 p.m. as per usual. Have a good bank holiday weekend. Well, it's over now. Back to work. Have a great week. We'll see you next